All right. When I invited Davis to come on the show tonight, it was to do a check-in on our main event team. I did not realize at the time it was going to turn into Taysom Hill week, and now I am massively regretting this.
Pat Fryer Helmo.
This is why I'm hot.
Anita Handjob.
Fix your sight.
Jamar. Alpha play chase.
Are you kidding me? Kadarius Toney?
You can't handle the heat.
Pete, it looks like we're finally piss boys. You're right.
Davis, you know that you're just dumping on the public, right? You bought Taysom Hill stock super low. It went to the moon, and now you're fucking cashing out, and you're dumping on the poor people who have fab money to spend.
Saddest day of his life, Pete.
I mean, Pete, you know that in the token gated part of the Ship Taking Discord, we have this ongoing bit where you can cash out on your best ball takes, right? So it's like you want to cash out on your fade of Adam Thielen. Okay, you can cash out for $150 if we're assuming the starting stock is $100. What could you cash out? Draft Taysom Hill in every draft in Best Ball Mania 3-4 right now. If the starting price was $100, like it would be insane. But I mean, very fortuitous that he does happen to be a free agent on Ship Taking a week where we have Darren Waller on bye with a hamstring injury.
Would you cash him out if he was?
Absolutely not. No, this is like Taysom Hill is like
right.
Bitcoin.
Yes, you would.
I'm writing.
Yes, you would.
Dude, sell the top, Davis. Sell the fucking top.
Here's the thing. As we all know,
Would you list him, Davis? Would you list him at your dream price?
No.
I would maybe. I mean, very, very similar to the title hero. I would maybe list him for a price that I would never imagine him selling for, and wake up to watch some poor sap giving me life-giving money.
Tonight. That's what's going to happen tonight. Poor saps are emptying the clip tonight on this guy because of you, Davis.
Here's the thing: to put my serious fantasy analyst hat on, I did put a backwards hat on for the show. This is what I would say: tight end scoring is about as bad as it has ever been. I mean, even including George Kittle, useless. Darren Waller, useless. T.J. Hawkinson, one good game, useless. Dalton Schultz, back-to-back games, 0 receptions, useless. There are no tight end scoring points outside of Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce. I guess if you drafted David Njoku, you're feeling good, right? That's kind of like the one.
To be honest,
Alberto, useless. Alberto, the most useless player in the history of fantasy football. So
the answer was Tyler Higbee.
It was. You were on that crane. Higbee was an incredibly good call by my friend, Mr. Crane.
It's so gross.
But but even with the Higbee thing, it's like, okay, you got 14 points. Like, congratulations. I'm giving my cap to you. But it's like Taysom, I mean, he's going to have certainly 3 more games where you start him this year where he records sub 1 point probably. But he also probably has multiple 20-pointers left as well. And that's the thesis.
The reason I'm only interested in it on our team is because we do have Waller. We're on bye. He could miss a couple weeks. But Ben, talk some sense into this. I mean, I'm already exhausted from this Taysom Hill putting.
I don't know. This is the most unique situation in the world. I do think last week is like, I mean, you made the point earlier, Peter's role hasn't changed a bunch, and it really hasn't. They had Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry out, and then Chris Olave got concussed, and then they went negative 18% pass rate over expected. They had a 36% pass rate in like a shootout, and that was the 5th lowest pass rate for any team in any game all year. It was lower than any of Chicago's pass rates. It was lower than, I mean, it's just incredibly low pass rate, right? And it's sort of a hot hand thing. He's balling. They just keep giving him the ball. He has a
that's a good point. I mean, he did get that great fumble recovery on special teams, so you got to reward that grit and effort.
He hits a 60-yard TD run. It wasn't just the script situation and the really pass heaviness, but he also hits a 60-yard TD run. I mean, that was like.
How about
you have to fade every element of that particular game? How about
the passing touchdown to Troutman? I mean, that was the more egregious one,
right?
Where it's like 2 tight end eligible players linking up for a touchdown.
I mean, I don't know what his act like. Week 1, he had like 18 points, so now he's done it twice in 4 weeks. I don't think he's gonna have multiple more 20-point games, but I think he'll have multiple more TD scoring games where he gets to like 12 or 15.
How many starts does he have?
He's thrown 1 pass and he's caught 1 pass, and he hasn't run for more than like I think it's like 8 carries this week was his season high. I mean, you're talking about like 6 to 8 carries.
Are you at all like? Does it enter into your analysis that it seems that everyone for the Saints is dead this week? That Mike Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Chris Olave are all not practicing this week?
Yeah, I mean that helps him.
That factors into it for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
Hey, I want to go around the panel. Rest of the season, who would you rather have? Straight up points, doesn't matter when they come.
Wait, but it does matter when they come. You have to start this player. This is a season-long league. You have to start them.
True. No, it does matter.
I also do want to say that I do think Davis made a really good point that like tight end scoring is so bad that anyone who can score a touchdown matters, right? Like, and so I do think
I've started Albert O in multiple leagues that cost $2,000 so I'm really pretty comfortable taking a 0 at tight end if need be.
You also spent the entire offseason saying Greg Dulcich was a false flag operation.
Buddy,
and he was not.
Turns out that Ben Albright was the smoking man from the X-Files, and that he was actually, but he was double reverse false flagging me into thinking that Albert O existed.
Hey, sorry, I got bogged down in framing my question wrong. Who would you rather have? Let's go around the panel. Weeks 15 through 17, Greg Dulcich or Taysom Hill. You can only start one. You can only have one on your roster. You're locked into them on your roster.
And we're choosing now?
We have to choose right now.
Dulcich.
Literally insane. The Denver Broncos have 4 passing touchdowns in 5 games.
Hang on. We know Davis's answer. Pat?
I mean, that's a pretty low bar. He's a rookie tight end. There's always the chance that maybe Taysom's a starting quarterback for even one of those weeks. So I will still say Taysom there.
2v2, Dulcich.
I have been even turned into a Dulcich guy. I'm like telling Liam we got to drop guys for Dulcich. I have Dulcich in more main events now than I do Albert O because I dropped Albert O in every league where I had him. But it's like, come on, the thesis we had for the Broncos has clearly been proved wrong.
Yeah, the Broncos stink.
You can lock it in right now. Weeks 15 to 17, Taysom Hill or Kyle Pitts.
Oh God,
Kyle Pitts.
Don't. Okay. Thank God, Davis. You were going to ruin me.
We've established the bounds of this conversation.
You guys laugh. I literally think I would rank Taysom like tight end 7 for the rest of the season.
Well, at least he's behind Kyle Pitts. That's what.
What about Higbee? Higbee or
I think Higbee is the line. I think no. Parham already started to eat. Okay, tight end 8. You're right. I'd take Hawkinson.
Davis, how much of your thesis is obviously if he gets a quarterback start, it's the smash of all smashes. How much if you knew for a fact he was not going to get a quarterback start, so it was just going to be these gadget touches, how would you feel about him? Or is it the baked in upside of the QB start that gets you really going?
I mean, to be honest, a month ago, I would have said, I'm not interested in him at all without the baked in quarterback stuff. I would have said that is like 98% of the thesis or whatever. But after watching what they've been doing with him, I mean, you got to get batters a lot less, right? Certainly specifically for a contest where you win $1 million to first place, I don't really think that there is another player in the pool who offers like the barbell upside that he does. But I still think there's a non-zero chance Taysom's on like the winning main event team without ever starting a quarterback for the Saints.
I just don't see that. It's tight end premium.
It's probably Kelsey.
Which is not good for it's tight end premium, which is not good for Taysom Hill. Because like even you go look at his game long, even some of these games where like he had a rushing TD in week 4, he got 8.1 points. And like in tight end premium, that's fairly easy to get, right? Tyler Higbee's getting that in one drive.
It's true.
I think you look, like you said, he missed week 3 because of the ribs. Before that, his rush attempts were 4, 3, and 5. And you can't dock his touchdown expectation because he has a huge role in the red zone. But like, I guess what I push back on, I think the irony is I kind of like Taysom Hill's floor. I think the ceiling is a fucking mirage.
I mean, but either way, right? Either way, it works for these teams because so many of us are so dead at tight end.
But you're talking about the $1 million and all this. Like, is he that big of a help in the 3-week contest? Like, you're going up against a lot of Kelsey teams and a lot of Andrews teams this year.
But if he has one of these miracle Taysom games, just happens to have one of these miracle Taysom games in a random distribution, weeks 15 through 17, you have gained up a massive leg up. And I would assume Taysom is not going to be started by that many teams by then, because I assume just pretty much every Kelsey team is just automatically going to advance to the championship round the way scoring looks right now, So, I mean, like, guys, I can be reasonable. I don't he's not going to be the guy who wins you $1 million, but he might be one of the guys who wins you $1 million.
But see, Davis, you deserve the best ball victory lap. He has already paid off his draft cost.
For sure.
Right. We're trying to get you to buy out on this take.
It's time to sell, bud.
It's time to sell on the season long front.
Yeah,
Davis.
Look, I'll sell my.
You're like, we're going to the moon. I'm like, no, dude, this is the time to sell.
Yeah, I'll sell my best ball portfolio for 1,000% markup if anyone wants to buy it. There's a lot of Trey Lance in there bringing the cost down, unfortunately.
All right, let's go around. I want to do another poll. What do you guys think his average bid is across? Let's do main event leagues, not football guys, because people are fucking dropping Kenneth Walker in those leagues. What do you guys think? Average bid on Taysom Hill when Mojo posts it tomorrow.
I think he goes for double digits in a lot of leagues, and I think he goes for several $100s in a lot of leagues, which a lot of guys do, but I think it's a really wide range.
I mean, once I saw Matt Collins go for 308 in a main event, I just believed that anything was possible. I'll say 119 is his average bid across all main events. Now, remember, he's already owned in a lot of main events.
What would you say? In ours, it's like 50-50, would you say?
I think
he's owned in about 50.
Maybe even less. Maybe even
a little less.
Yeah.
So to me, I think then that means the flop
Taysom
is owned
in 79. Taysom is owned in 79.8% of main events.
Okay. All right. Then I say it goes even higher. I'll say average bids 265.
I'll say 185.
Yeah. 185 sounds right. 185 sounds.
I was going to be somewhere between you two, probably 212 or something.
Using this as a proxy for market sentiment in the battle royales on Underdog, his ADP is tight end 3 this week. It's Kelsey, Andrews, and then people are fucking jamming Taysom Hill. Davis, that's fucking ridiculous.
We're all looking for the guy who did this.
Yeah.
We're all looking for the guy who
Davis,
it's absurd.
The fact that you guessed 115, I really feel the need to implore you to cash out on this Taysom Hill pick.
I thought you were
You don't realize how much you could make.
I mean, okay, so whatever. No, because cashing out, does that imply I can't victory lap the next time he gets 34 points?
That's why, Davis, you're anchored to your own victory lap equity.
I mean, that's why I play the game. We all know I'm never gonna win the $1 million. The victory lap's best thing I've got going, man.
I love it.
You've already gotten the kudos for the Taysom Hill.
Now,
your best ball teams are gonna look great.
You won. All that matters to 75% of our audience is the first 5 weeks. You've won. Yeah. It doesn't matter what
Davis,
happened.
What you can do now, if you cash out now, what that opens up for you is that then you can victory lap when Taysom Hill doesn't do anything from this point.
No, I think
so.
That's
You can. I told
scenario.
you week 6 was when you had to cash out.
If I had to miss out on the euphoria of another Taysom Hill multi-touchdown game, I mean, you guys don't understand how, because you're a Discord with your buddies and you're all like, we're rich, yada yada. Even though you're completely ignoring that Taysom might be on a bunch of 11th place, best ball teams or whatever. Can I bump our bid up?
Oh God!
That's your take? I thought we were moving you down.
No, we need a tight end.
My favorite message in any of our chats this week was Davis after we moved it down, saying, "You guys are addicted to losing."
That was great. What a burn!
Pete and I have just been getting our teeth kicked in these GPPs, and I think it's like you gotta. you gotta remove the loser mindset, and you gotta just
and just jam Taysom Hill.
You gotta jam Taysom Hill.
You gotta just pick winners.
Otherwise, you're a fucking loser.
Play the best plays, man. This guy's a football player.
My
Get your
favorite
hand
line
in the dirt and bid $500 on Taysom Hill.
My favorite line from our chat was Davis saying, "I'm not convinced our bid even gets him. People are all caps frothy." And then I hit you back with the "yeah, because of you, dumbass," in all caps.
I did like that too.
Well, I mean, look, we're all looking for the guy who this.
Yeah, I finished 7th in the Hail Mary on Underdog last week. I fucking begrudgingly took Taysom as my bring back in my Geno double stacks. And you know what I'm doing? I'm fucking taking my chips off the table and we're moving on. Davis, we're cashing out.
Until Davis is, at least we had week 5 tweet, which is coming in like 3 or 4 weeks on Taysom Hill.
The best point that Davis had, and we should pull up our team. I won't show the bid here, but we have a good team, and
that's
don't have a tight
really
end.
This is really the biggest thing, is that this is a team I really would like to see make it to the championship round.
Yeah.
So just having that extra ammo.
That's a more convincing argument to me, that we need to get to the championship round.
We need a win this week is what.
Yeah.
Losing this week kind of deads this team, I think.
I mean, let's not be hyper.
Well, this is
We're okay.
Well, this is the all play week. So this is super important for standings.
So this is our team here for the audio listeners. I'm going to recap the entire draft board.
No, for the audio listeners, read the team out. Read the team out for the audio listeners.
So we did get Geno Smith, Michael Carter, and Tyler Algier. We'll talk about Michael Carter in a second. T. Higgins, Justin Jefferson, Darren Waller, Drake London, Rondell Moore, Jason Sanders, Green Bay. And then on the bench, Zach Wilson, Rashad White, Rex Burkhead, Derrick Henry. We are famously the only team in the main event with Derrick Henry and Justin Jefferson. Check the chain. Samaje Perine, Ronald Jones, Christian Watson, Traylon Burks, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Joshua Palmer. This is like the classic team that looks strong at wide receiver and then immediately feels very weak.
When we get Amon-Ra St. Brown and Derrick Henry back in the lineup after these buys,
I don't know if you guys talked about this on the show last week. I mean, we got owned on the waivers last week on this team.
Yeah.
I mean, we missed out on everyone we wanted. Although gift horse in the mouth, we tried to bid a lot on Jared Goff, got outbid on Jared Goff, and then got fantasy's number 5 point scorer, Geno Smith, to remain in our starting lineup.
You also got outbid on Pickett, which I'm mad about. I would still have Pickett over Geno.
Oh my God. I literally can't talk about Kenny Pickett anymore. I'm going on like hour 11 of debating Kenny Pickett with Liam.
I'm into Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's, I think he's like a guy
not
you
what I
want
needed.
now.
Not what I needed here, Corinne.
Pickett over Geno, for sure.
Davis was sending these
I don't know about
screenshots
that.
of his DMs with Liam, and I basically want you guys to just go live and hash this out for 10 hours straight. It's so good.
How much of Liam's take is that he just happened to play the Bills last week? So he watched every snap.
That was Pete's point, and eventually we got there. He said, I watched this game at a truck stop. I know Kenny Pickett is good. And we got to that. I mean, I shit you not. We've been doing this since, let's see when the first. I mean, at least since noon.
I guarantee you. Let's say that game. Let's just say the Steelers played the Eagles last week. Liam wouldn't give one single shit about Kenny Pickett. It's because he watched him play a full game. That's the only reason.
God. How do you know how to just like cut into people, Pete? Like how do you get that? Like, that's right. It sounds right.
I mean, he's the most unabashed homer on the fucking
I said the same
timeline.
thing. He loves the Bills. Everything revolves around the Bills.
He was top 100 in the millie on DraftKings because he ran a Bills onslaught last week. It's like this guy runs so pure that he's a homer for the most exciting football team of our generation. Like, run good.
Yeah, imagine if Juju Smith-Schuster was good. My homerism would be paying off too, but unfortunately, not great.
That chart that Harditz posted, no top 24 finishes from Chiefs wide receivers this year. Like,
that's
what
crazy,
the fuck?
man.
I was just trying to relax on the couch and eat and just, kind of hang out, and ruined my night. We have ignored probably the most interesting situation on the waiver wire this week, though. Are we going to get to it?
I just want to look at this real quick and then let's get to it here. So what? The closest we got to sniffing it was week 1 when Juju finished as wide receiver 27. I mean, my fucking God.
To be fair, Valdez-Scantling was a fingertip away from doing it against the Colts. He just didn't extend his arms far enough for an 80-yard touchdown.
Oh, I guess he
Kind of
was
his thing,
20th.
though.
Sorry. Week 5. Yeah. 20th there. But still, my God.
Yeah, this
all right.
Sky Moore still matters. I mean, like their receivers are not good.
Sky Moore looks
like,
good out there. Sky Moore has over 2 yards per route run. They're just not playing him.
Yeah, I thought this week watching him like total film grinder take that he looked a little slow on into his routes. Like, I don't know. I don't really want to go deep into the film grinder world, but I mean, we see this with rookies that need a little time. He came from a non-Power 5 school. The game looked a little fast based on like Mahomes is getting passes off and he hasn't even like looked back yet on a few of them. But like that's fine.
The stakes are too high for him to play right now.
Right this second. I think it's going to be a couple more weeks.
No,
I think we're gonna have a few more.
and if you're looking for reasons to be encouraged, he started out playing no snaps behind Justin Watson to begin the year, and he ran ahead of Justin Watson last week. Look, we all know it's a matter of time before Hardman goes to the bench, right?
Yes.
Right. Yes. And they're going to need Sky for the postseason run. Like he's going to get ramped up around week 12 at the latest and get ready for the postseason. Because he's like, I mean, look at those 2 little wide receiver screens they threw him in the fourth quarter last week. Like he looked explosive just on like little 10-yard gains, but way more than anything else they have. Juju.
Sky's going to get dropped. By the way, Sky is going to get dropped the next 2 weeks in main event leagues because we got injuries and buys.
Yeah.
We've already been aggressively on him.
Burks is going to get dropped in a bunch of leagues tonight.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Davis, what was your most interesting angle on the waiver wire?
Patriots running back 2. I mean, or maybe running back 1, to be honest. Like, I mean, Ramondre is going to get a lot of work, but
the 1-yard line. Tate will take the snap, hand off Taylor, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
Taylor to the end zone for the touchdown.
Play you one. Tate will hand off. Taylor dives over the top. Touchdown, Arizona. Wildcats will run the play. Hand off J.J. Taylor, right side. Spins away at the 15. Her side up to the 10, the 20, 25 out to the 30. Gets a block to the 40 to midfield. Turns the corner. Sun Devil 40. Foot race down to the 35 to the 30 and out of bounds. Near the 25-yard line. First and 10, Arizona. Pistol set, he will hand off J.J. Taylor. Squirts through up the 50. First down, breaks a tackle and dives. Goes the screen pass, and it's caught. 35 down to the 30, 25. Over the man at the 20 and a first down. J.J. Taylor. Taylor to the 10, Taylor to the 5. He leaps into the end zone. Head over heels. Touchdown, Arizona.
Oh, my goodness.
How funny is it going to be when Ramondre Stevenson doesn't have a pass game role anymore because J.J. Taylor is running exclusively as the pass catcher?
He hasn't really had that much of a pass game role to begin with this year. It's been weird. He's rushing.
I actually think it'll be the reverse. I think J.J. Taylor will be the early down guy.
What? Really?
I do.
Wasn't he active last week? J.J. Taylor was active last week, right?
Pierre Strong was inactive last week.
He was inactive. He was a healthy scratch. That's right.
Yeah.
No, J.J. Taylor has not. They only had 2 running backs active last week, which helped the.
He wasn't listed on the Patriots inactives. I checked.
Because he was on the P squad, bro.
He was on the
comments on the.
Interesting.
J.J. Taylor's been on the practice squad, all year for the New England Patriots. I also can't find any reporting on this. Is Kevin Harris also on their practice squad, or is he unsigned?
I don't know.
I think he's on their practice squad too. I mean,
our lads would have that.
I'm preparing everyone for what's going to happen this week, which is the Patriots are going to have 4 running backs active, and
our lads has Kevin Harris on the practice squad.
Okay, so they're gonna. My 2 cents would be they're gonna call him up. That would be my guess. My guess is they're gonna try all these guys out, and whoever plays well is gonna get more run.
Ramondre's been awesome this year. He's been awesome. I don't think they're gonna like hold open tryouts for the lead rusher.
Nah, man, not lead rusher.
Maybe last year they would have, but like he's a second-year back who's been super explosive and consistent.
Is there a Bailey Zappi like opinion on this show? Where are we at? I don't think I could be any more in on Bailey Zappi if I tried.
He seems fine, right? He seems like he
did almost beat Aaron Rodgers coming in cold at Lambeau in his very first NFL experience.
He's no Daniel Jones, but he's pretty good.
Did you guys see the clip of Daniel Jones asking Aaron Rodgers if he was okay after the London game?
I did.
If you can pull that up, we should watch that.
He just comes up to him and pats him on the chest and is like, "Are you okay?" So funny.
Oh, dude, I really want to say. By the way, so not to take it too much back to Taysom, but you guys know that sometimes Sean Siegel's like a little bit mysterious with where he stands on things. I'm in a dynasty league with Sean. This is a dynasty league. We have a bid in right now.
Don't do this.
Taysom Hill.
Don't do this.
For $233.
Don't.
I mean, when you get 10 more years of tight end 1, QB1, RB1 production.
He's like 33 in a dynasty league.
That is the funniest thing that no one remembers about Taysom is that he went to BYU, so he had to do the Mormon mission. So he didn't start college until he was 20, and he played for 6 years at BYU.
This guy has more positions than Mormons do wives. It's just Jesus Christ. All right, found this clip.
Anyway, Davis, you want up the bid? Go ahead.
I mean, I wish I had a censor on this show to just bleep you guys when you're starting to say shit I don't like to hear.
You authoritarian.
I am upping the bid at $8.58, by the way.
Then I'll reveal it and hope someone comes over the top.
I'll reveal it.
You all right? You all right?
That's amazing.
You all right?
Look at the pat.
Cracks him up, too.
Pat right here. Jesus.
He gives him he'll get over it.
Oh my God.
That's good stuff. That's good
That's
stuff.
good.
We like to see that.
Holy shit.
Someone asked me in the chat earlier if I'd be willing to cash out on my Eno Benjamin shares. I cash out what? I mean,
No.
I have to realize the equity this week.
This is like the Eno thing. This is like your friend asking you Bored Apes for the first time, but before Jimmy Fallon bought one. You're not cashing out quite yet.
I'm worried that James Conner is gonna limp out there with fucking half a rib, dude.
What about? Are you guys doing any $1 bids on Keontae Ingram? Just me.
I think he's in some groups, but
Yeah.
My
He's
favorite,
part of like there's a long list. Josh Kelly's there's a bunch of guys who are like kind of interesting.
well, there's Tevin Coleman's available everywhere. DJ Dallas is available everywhere.
Don't do the Tevin Coleman thing. Add any Patriots running back over Tevin Coleman, I think. Just
I went
Tevin
through
Coleman,
I went through all of our bids and lowered Tevin Coleman in all of them. Like not even if he was at $1, I like bumped him behind other $1 guys. I'm not into Tevin Coleman.
I think Damian Williams is probably a better ad after watching the Falcons running backs last week.
Wasn't there news on him today about when he was going to be back?
I just think because it was just like a quad injury. I don't think he was expected to be out like that long. Damian Williams says he is mentally ready to go per the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
This is like when Zach Wilson told Robert Saleh he's mentally ready to return to action, and clearly he wasn't.
Fair enough. Zach Wilson, we thought he looked all right last week. The problem is Zach Wilson and Breece Hall being so good is pretty bad for this the Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore bags.
So here's a stat for you. Completion percentage over expected. Normally if you have like a positive completion percentage over expected, you're like generally in the middle of the pack of quarterbacks for a given week. For the first time in his career, Zach Wilson had a positive completion percentage over expected last week. It wasn't even that high. It was like 0.6%, but he's been negative in every single week of his career. Super inaccurate quarterback.
So
we don't like to see that.
We should talk about, so I was doing my sweep on Sunday of this team, and we had Michael Carter in, obviously we had Derrick Henry. And so we were looking at running back 2. I was looking at projections and stuff. And I was like, let's play Tyler Algier here over Michael Carter. And boy, was that a tough scene to watch fucking dustball Michael Carter land 2 touchdowns here to 17 points, getting dunked on by Davis in there. Never again with Tyler Algier.
Probably the last points Michael Carter is going to score too.
I know we missed him.
He's just been iced. I mean, this team is just classic ship chasing. We are going to be playing running back 2 roulette for the rest of the season. I mean, I can't believe we are still staring at Ronald Jones on this team. Like, guys, we got to give up the ghost.
There's a long bid group with him as the drop. Don't worry.
Davis,
Okay.
I'll tell you what, if you want to put things in perspective, if you want to look in the mirror, there's about an equal chance of Ronald Jones being the guy you need as there is Taysom Hill weeks 50
true,
through 17.
dude.
It
That's
is so
actually true.
You know, I can't get there. I mean, guys, I mean, Pacheco has looked pretty good.
Pacheco looks good, yeah.
McKinnon looks good, man.
Well, I mean, but we knew that all along,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Just make McKinnon the bell cow. Like, what are we even fucking around with?
Well, they
here?
don't. I mean, it's very similar to the way the Bills use Singletary. They would prefer to save McKinnon for the like. I bet McKinnon has his high snap share of the season in this game against the Bills this weekend.
Gretch, we haven't heard from you in a while. How you doing?
Well, I was just replying to Waiver.
We're just doing our bids. Let him work, man.
I'm not. I want to be. I do think one of the things I saw across a lot of our leagues this week was we had a lot of like $30, $50, $60 bids on players that like I don't really care if we got them at any number. I don't really see the point of spending 5%.
I lowered some of those. You pointed that out. I lowered a bunch. I
think the that's something Sean's been preaching to me lately, and I think is a good point. We talked about it on Stealing Bananas a little bit, that like that $50 that you lose on a week where you don't really have great targets. This is a non-Taysom Hill league where you're looking at some of the other guys. I mean, it's not a lot of money, but if you have a lot of options, you don't really care who the guy is. Like, it is a difference between in another week on a guy you do like going 250 up to 300 or something like that. Like when you want to go that extra 50 on a big bid later, this can prevent that basically. Just like wasting away $50.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest
Davis.
leak.
No.
It's probably my biggest leak, honestly, in the main event is
it because you literally just messaged us an extremely high bid? Your biggest
Well,
now you're gonna get your biggest leak. Maybe take the bid
I
down.
actually think I would say one of my strengths is not being afraid to go really ham on for example
You
last
just
year.
said it was your biggest leak.
No, there's two different things at play. Last year, the leagues that you and I, the three of us were together in, we got Elijah Mitchell in both of them.
Yeah.
Right? Because I said we got to lay the hammer. This is the spot.
Yeah, okay.
But I am really bad at for example, I bid uncontested. I was winning Khalil Shakir bids last week for $88, and no one else in my league was bidding on him.
We won Shakir in a lot of spots, and I felt really, really good about that one.
I started him. I started him, and I lost starting him over Terry McLaurin in a league with my terrorist co-managers. Why is everyone so obsessed with Terry McLaurin? Can it just be enough?
Did you hear Silva was on fucking Established the Show last week saying this was Silva's galaxy brain. He wanted to do Derrick Henry, Terry McLaurin mini with the Titans defense also tossed in. And he also said the spreadsheet socialists over at Ship Taking that they like every wide receiver except Terry McLaurin.
They probably like Javi Brown.
I mean, yeah, I think we do like every wide receiver. We like every wide receiver but Jacoby Myers and Terry McLaurin really are the two we don't like.
And Joshua Palmer. We're about to fucking cut that dust ball from this team.
Joshua Palmer, looked good for 3 games last season. He's got Josh Norris blowing him every 3 days on the Underdog Fantasy YouTube channel, and he's getting outproduced by DeAndre Carter, a career special teamer. Enough already. It's yeah. No, thank you on Josh Palmer. Yeah. The cabal got me on that one.
I'm doing my first main with Silva this year, so getting the first run around that son. I know if you guys have done it before. He's taken to calling us the Ship Chasters with a T. I think maybe like chastity or something.
Chastity belts?
Yeah. And then
Chasters. Interesting.
Chasters.
last time he mentioned us, he said we were literally gaslighting the goddamn country. So
on what now?
Gaslighting.
He speaks about the ship chasers in a text thread with me.
The ship chasers ruined fantasy.
This entity that I'm also.
I honestly don't think we went far enough. I think we were too light. We have Najee Harris drafted in the league. We should have been more hardcore.
Yeah, please call him by
Harris.
call him by his Christian name, Trent Richardson II.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to name some of our teams next year. Jamar Chased. I think that would just be wonderful.
I mean, hey, to be fair to the running back people out there, the running backs have caught up with the wide receivers in scoring, other than Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor.
Other than all the premium picks that people spend on.
Well, I mean, let's eat an L. I mean, biggest L of my life is going to be on Kenneth Walker, who I thought was like the worst pick ever, and he is just gonna. I
got a lot of pushback around here during main event drafts trying to draft Kenneth Walker. There was some worry-warts.
I was completely out. Yeah,
I could not have.
Who could have predicted Rashad Penny getting hurt? You just couldn't have done that.
That's not even the important part of the equation. That is nothing. That is nothing.
It is actually. Penny was going off. He looked great.
Yes, but the even larger prior was that we thought the Seahawks were going to be 32 out of 32 on offense. I mean, we thought that the Seahawks were truly going to be worse than the Bears have been this year on offense. And
I don't know if I thought they'd be that bad. I was pretty into draft.
I did. I
had a lot of Penny.
We also have to give, as usual, Siegel the ultimate W on this. 1 and 2 in the 0 RB. Doesn't matter. Whoever's starting is going to be the fucking smash, and it's playing out exactly as he drew it up.
Yep.
I mean, come on though. The dissonance between what the Broncos have been and what the market expectation for the Broncos was, and what the Seahawks have been and what the market expectation for the Seahawks is. I mean, it's got to be
crazy.
It's got to be one of the most surprising things in fantasy football
ever. Not fantasy football.
Just life, yeah.
Football.
I've pulled back a few times, and I was like, I don't know if I said on the Swolecast or whatever. If you wrote that down as a script, like this Freaky Friday situation that Russell Wilson and Geno Smith changed bodies, and Pete Carroll got really into throwing the ball, like you would say, no, throw this out. It's too unrealistic.
If someone had come on from today with perfect knowledge of what was happening and like on a preseason podcast delivered that as a prediction,
we would have lulled. Yeah.
I would have lulled. It would have made me so mad. I would have unfollowed that person. I'd be like, this person's a fucking idiot. They would have been 100% right. Like I couldn't have I was not even remotely open to the upcoming reality of the situation.
And what's boots on the ground?
I mean, how about this? Geno Smith was drafted in what? Maybe 30% of BBM threes? Top 5 scoring quarterback?
I'd say lower than 30%.
Way lower. You could get him really late in super flex drafts. Me and Sean took him in a few.
That's my one Geno victory lap.
He's going double digits in resurrection drafts right now. People still don't believe it.
You could get him in like the 12th round of Superflex drafts all offseason.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He was free.
People didn't even know he was going to start. He's got to be sub 10% in BBM.
For sure. Dude, did you see the quote today? The quote today that Pete Carroll said Drew Lock is nipping at
nipping at his heels.
Carroll is such a fucking moron. Like, at least Carroll's still a moron. I was getting worried.
I've been really having this like third eye moment with Pete Carroll. Like maybe he actually has had it all figured out the whole time, and Russ actually sucked, and that it was really all Pete trying to cover up for what Russ couldn't do, and that's why they kept cycling through offensive coordinators, because Russ would be like, "You got to let me do this," and then the offensive coordinator would try and let him do it, and then they'd suck, and then Pete was like, juggling these 19 different things, trying to keep it all harmonious. I don't know. It's just so bizarre.
It's crazy. But
Gretch, what's the boots on the ground take? Well, how are people feeling about Geno? Do they believe it?
I mean, I don't know about believing. I know that people are excited. It's cool. People are like, didn't know that Geno Smith was this good, kind of a thing. Like, I mean, that's the response that I've been hearing. He was not that bad last year, and I said it to one of my buddies, and he was like, "I thought he was terrible last year, but he's really good now." And I don't know. It just has people taken aback, I think. Pete, I thought, did you write in the newsletter, in the Fantasy Life newsletter, that he's in the MVP conversation now?
I linked to a Kenneth Cashman tweet that he'd be a top 5 MVP candidate right now. I mean, he's not going to win MVP, but
yeah,
it would be all time amazing. You know, it was always this thing that Russ never got MVP votes in Seattle. If Geno got a singular MVP vote,
well, they're 2 and 3.
That's a great point.
Like, you got to win. You got to win your division first. Like, the big thing with MVP is like you got to win. Usually the 1 seed. Who is the MVP right now? Josh Allen.
Allen.
I don't even know if Geno's top 5.
Mahomes is
would
live.
say,
Mahomes, Allen, Hurts.
Yeah.
Lamar.
The best bet you could make right now would be Brady for between 30 and 40
That's
to
a
1
good
for MVP. He got all his guys back, and you know these crusty old sports writers would love nothing more than to send Brady, out into his retirement with another MVP. And they would.
Then Brady's not going to retire. He's going to come back and keep playing. So you're going to have them script the narrative, and then he's going to thumb his nose at the narrative, and then next year he's going to take a bunch of shit because they want him to retire.
Davis, what are the odds Taysom Hill leads the Saints to the number 1 seed and wins MVP?
0. The Saints are really bad.
The
Saints are like a dumpster fire, dude. Like, it's not pretty.
The narrative I like on Hurts is that there's no way that people actually vote for him to win the MVP, but that Sirianni will get Coach of the Year as the makeup.
I like that because people still have it. People still have it in their brains that Hurts is bad. It's like Jalen Hurts. It's that in particular 2 games, both against the Buccaneers, have really colored people's opinion of Jalen Hurts. One was a Thursday night game and one was a playoff game where they got behind 14 points almost immediately and they just couldn't do anything. And I feel like that's just and that fact that he got benched for Tua, who people hate in college, people can't get over that. But Jalen Hurts, if you go look, Gretch, this would actually be a great exercise for you to do if you care to do it in stealing signals, just to show how Jalen Hurts has literally gotten better every year he's ever played. Like every year he's added a new dimension, new skill, and I mean it's all coming together right now.
I mean, I think I got enough time next week to go back and watch all his films since high school and talk about the skills that he's added each year.
Yeah, totally. I mean, who does?
Gretch, this would be great for you. You should do this.
I'll just mix that in. I'll have free time on my hands.
I mean, you had time to go back and look at what Matt Rule did at Temple and Baylor, so it's like you can't. It's not.
But that pissed me off. You got to get me mad to get me to really dig into something.
How mad are we going to be when Matt Rule gets another job? Because that's the way the NFL works.
No,
he's going back to college.
He's got to go back to college.
Oklahoma is going to need a coach in about.
I almost said this is a Chip
weeks.
Kelly thing, but Chip Kelly got another job with the Niners. I forgot about that.
Gretch, is this going to be official stealing lines play? Geno 300. I mean, I'll put a bomb on Geno at 300 to 1. Let's fucking go.
I mean, you can cash out.
Put it out, Dalton.
They gotta win. They gotta win the division. Like you have to win 12 games to win MVP. It's a rule. Like it's never.
The division sucks. It's the Seahawks. Let's go.
They're 2 and 3. That means they got to win 10 of their last
12 games. Their defense. I looked.
Their defense is so bad.
Dead last in yards per play allowed. No one even close. Like 6.8.
By rule, have to win.
Their defense is fucking up our high stakes leagues because now we have to bid for Taysom Hill. That's how bad their defense is.
Hey, let's answer this question so we encourage future tips.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Reasonably big. I don't know how big reasonably big is.
If you're putting in, you got to be dead to rights at running back to put in a bigger bid.
Right. He's one of the guys that I was saying I didn't want to put $50 on. I wanted to do $1.
I think 50 is defensible. Anything over that's crazy.
Here's the thing. Josh Kelly, I know for a fact, has been on the waivers in this same role his entire career.
It's a different role. Michelle was phased out last week. That's
yeah, but I mean, he'll be phased out until this week and until he's not. I mean,
maybe, yeah.
Davis, say
you
the
want to get him
Taysom bid.
for sure.
Davis, say the Taysom bid. Say it out loud. Say what you changed it to.
$212, which I still think is
Davis.
too low. Which I still think is too low.
No,
It probably is.
It's too high.
No.
Sean,
It's too high. We said 100. We said we'll go to 100.
You said Sean in your Dynasty League. I've been several main events with Sean, and he had 2 over 400 and 2 more over 300.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ. What happened to Sean?
Way too low. Too low, says
Sean
Liam.
is not addicted to losing. Sean likes to win. So.
God damn it. God damn it. We tried to get you to cash out, man. You could have had such a good sell on this.
No,
Liam,
no.
Check your fucking Twitter DM, dude.
I mean, Liam and I co-manage a team, and we don't have to make bids on Taysom this week because we already have him.
Too bad he doesn't have quarterback eligibility. Then you guys wouldn't have this.
We would have nothing to argue about. We'd have nothing to argue about. We just put Taysom in, baby.
Did you get Taysom last week, or did you draft him?
We drafted him. No, we picked him up. We picked him up after week 1. I think we bid $30 on him after week 1.
People are doing fucking Bible verse bidding on.
We had a 69 bid on
Taysom 316. That's
Taysom 316 is a good bid. I think Michael Wilklow. I think I'm gonna start tweeting that when he scores a touchdown. I think I'm gonna start tweeting.
Yeah, for Big T so love the world that he gave Taysom Hill his only begotten son. Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, are these?
I mean, Taysom Hill is just a bit though, right? Like this is the most the longest running bit.
Can you reply to Sean's email and ask him that too while you're at it? Taysom Hill is just a bit. Sean famous for his bits on bids.
Taysom Hill is a bit, but when a bit it turns profitable for you, then extends the life of the bit by quite a ways.
When you guys were asking what I was doing when I was being quiet, I was on mute writing multiple sentences to Sean about why I did not want to bid $400 on Taysom Hill. I don't know if those got through.
This is just Kenneth Walker all over again. Sean's going to be right in the end.
You're only saying that because he agrees with you.
Yeah, your bags are packed.
That is how that works. Okay, so bids have locked. Can we pump bags? I think going hard on Pierre Strong was the move. Pierre Strong is good, and
how hard did you go on him? We had small bids on him.
I moved him up to $55 in every league I had.
Oh, you're gonna get him.
I moved him, but more importantly, I moved him.
That's that league you just were talking about. This is like gave up $55.
Yes, literally, yes. What I was just talking about, but I just moved him ahead of Coleman, Kelly, DJ Dallas, yada yada yada, and in every league I'm in. Oh, Mr. fucking Kenny Pickett himself.
Oh, look, he got some fucking ambient streamer lighting. Now he's ready for the big time.
Here's the thing.
What's up, lads?
Here's the thing, Liam. That was really tilting me. Is when I'm talking to Karain, when I'm doing with Dinkmeyer and Leone, and we're making lineup whatever. Like we can kind of facts and logic each other, and we can be like, these are the range of outcomes. These are what these guys are projected for. That shit just does not work on Liam. Liam is totally impervious to a statistical argument. He does not care. He's like, bro, you don't understand. Daniel Jones sucks.
Well, to me, it's like you're trying to play the quarterback with a team that is trying to hide him by running Saquon. And this is hard on the line right here. How confident are you? Because I would go with Pickett, right? Because I watched
Liam challenging my manhood for a quarterback start sit.
You want to play Russian roulette for bids or what?
David is
I love this. I love this line of attack. You're gonna go with your 0.4 projected guy. I love it.
Well, you don't understand, guys.
You like your projection. I can take a bullet.
That's the most alpha waiver discussion I've ever seen.
Me, Kyle, and Davis have been battling really since like the 6th round of our main event, where I was like slamming the table for Miles Sanders and was barked down for none other than Albert fucking O. And since then, we've just been at it. Like you could just see my face there. I'm like,
we also did this last week with Melvin Gordon. I shit you not. The first message that we sent this morning about quarterback waiver wire bids was at 10:24 a.m. Central Time. So this is now 13 hours of our day that we've spent arguing about this.
Well, and to me, like, again, the team is trying to hide Daniel Jones. Okay, he gives you like a rushing floor of like 5 to 7 points. We know what he is. We've had seasons of data. We know who his pass catchers are right now, unless Tony comes back from the dead. Pickett has actually good weapons. I think from watching that game against the Bills,
I mean,
it's actually good.
You're preaching.
So you did watch
preaching.
that game, Liam?
Well, I watched the first half in a truck stop because I was driving home, and then listened to it on.
Here's the thing. You're preaching to the choir. This is a very pro Pickett show. These guys all love Pickett.
That's what I wanted to talk about because I know Gretsch is grinded film. You know, Pete's in the weeds, Pat's right in the write up. Like they're watching this stuff. You're over here just like Kenny Pickett's got small hands. You know, like.
Was that a take today? His hand size?
No, I just said.
I read between the lines. I knew what they were saying.
I said Daniel Jones projected for 17.5 points and Kenny Pickett projected for 14 points.
Wait,
I would like
your input volatility of like knowing fragility of like what median projection of Pickett exists out there.
Daniel Jones
also
has small hands.
You can't have your cake and eat it too, Liam. You can't be like, the reason I want to start this guy is because I watched him play at a fucking truck stop while eating Slim Jims.
I don't eat meat. But the no.
Oh my God! No wonder your brain is wrecked, dude. We need you to eat red meat.
I'm a pescatarian. All right.
Oh, Liam, I would have never co-managed.
Question my protein, bro.
Liam pulled the most aggro, putting a gun to my head for a quarterback start sit, but he won't eat red meat. I'm tilted.
I was just trying to convey
off between
how
Davis
confident
and Liam right
I was that Pickett is a good play. I mean, how many ways can he get there? He actually is mobile. He does it on the ground, right? He is going to need to pass.
I have bad news for you, Liam. You are really going to have to eat some shit when he has 9 points this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's impossible. That's literally impossible. Daniel Jones has a lower floor than Kenny Pickett this week. I will stand by that.
Well, we're going to find out very soon who is our quarterback.
So who's breaking this tie for you guys? Is Kyle?
No, Kyle referred to himself as 1997 Davis.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but he just is tapping out. Kyle tapped out. He I think rightly realized it was not worth, the 3 points either way. It was not worth the mental expenditure.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say though. Is like we know that they're like who they are, like their floors are similar, but one has an actual ceiling that does not require them to have 3 rushing touchdowns.
Kenny Pickett doesn't have a passing touchdown in the NFL yet.
Stat chasing, we have our first Taysom Hill bid in. I'm going to be closest to the pin on this. 328 bid for Taysom Hill.
The froth.
Oh, you guys
froth.
Yeah.
I have too many leagues this year, but I did and like the football guy ones, I kind of do begrudgingly, but I saw he was on the waivers and just unloaded at 333.
So the guy that we wanted to go really hard at was TDP.
I picked him up in a couple too.
You guys, but I fought
and no one wanted
for like 5 weeks, so I just let it go.
Well, I mean, the fact that Tevin Coleman looked good in that offense last week, like
no, that's bearish. That is not bullish.
That's bullish.
TDP.
That's good for TDP. Coleman
585 in this fucking economy. Get the fuck out of here.
And the next bid was 420.
Cobb's trying to win. Cobb Nation is trying to win.
Cobb Nation out there. So that means
Taysom Hill is on 0 waivers because people don't know this. Loyal listeners don't know this. Davis, where did
waivers he was just on?
Davis, where did you first learn about Taysom Hill?
What are you talking about?
True. No. I got to give Liam credit. He was the one who first pointed out to me he was tight end eligible.
There's a message here that Dalton just took Geno to win MVP. Oh my God, it's an actual play in stealing lines. That's not good for our reputation.
Our Fab report still is. Oh, is it load faster on mobile?
Yeah, you got to look on mobile.
Okay.
I know this is behind the paywall, but I do want to see that Dalton officially did put it out. Geno Smith.
Love to see how the sausage is made.
This is just a terrible bet. I do not rubber stamp this.
Taysom
0.02 risk. I mean, look, at
Taysom-
least we're being smart with our money here.
Can you guys see that? Taysom in Ship Taking went for 667.
Get the fuck
That's
out
a good bid. That's a good bid. I
Yeah,
think.
shut up.
That's
Liam.
a terrible bid.
That's
So the
terrible.
guy-
What is coming out there other than a
Okay,
quarterback who's at tight end?
Listen.
Not even a quarterback.
Throw one
He
pass.
could be
fullback.
if Dalton
He
goes
could
down.
be.
So, do you guys remember that this was the league where our friend, I'm forgetting his name. Damn it, that makes me an asshole. He auto drafted. Do you remember?
Oh,
we had
Tyler Bucher.
Tyler,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Tyler is the
Who
guy
kicked
who
our
did it,
ass last week.
who is on
by the
who drafted this auto drafted team. Obviously, he's trying to build this team more in his own image. So he just spent $667 on Taysom Hill.
Wow.
I played Taysom Hill in 5 main event teams last week.
What?
Holy shit.
We love to see it, Liam.
You played him in 5?
So
Over
wait,
who?
you-
Tell me. Go
wait.
through the start sit decision.
All I heard there was
This
you
guy
got,
just can't catch a break, huh?
you got so much euphoria this weekend from Taysom Hill that you are not unbiased here. Like, you were on the side
I
of it.
had to play him if I'm clear about my other tight end options, but still, I played him in 5 leagues. and
Tell me the
it's-
start sits across these 5. I want to hear.
All
I
right,
need this.
it
Give me in
was-
the nitty gritty here.
Pets, probably.
Well, again, I woke up from the day after a wedding and had to get on the road to drive back from Mobile to
What does
St.
this have to
Pete.
do with anything?
Because I woke up past the London game. This is important context where I had Daniel Bellinger or Taysom for some of these games, or Dawson Knox, and Dawson Knox was ruled out. You know, shout out my guy. I still believe in him.
This is like you know
Fuck is
you know
going on?
how some people are just destined to run good in life. Liam is literally just telling us the story of a guy who drafted 77% Gabe Davis, won $1 million without Gabe Davis on his Best Ball Mania 3 team. Like that. This is just this story reiterated.
Yeah.
I also
Sleeps
love
through
that
Daniel Bellinger, who also scored a touchdown, right?
A
So
rushing
it would've been all right.
touchdown. A rushing
Yeah.
touchdown.
you were gonna start Bellinger over him. You're saying, like, were you mad?
No, I would have played Taysom, but I mean,
Yeah,
so that was just
it
a-
was Taysom or Dawson
So
Knox.
then why did you tell us about sleeping
What was that story then?
let the
It's
record
irrelevant.
show. Let the record show on our co-managed team, we have Hayden Hurst, Greg Dulcich, and Taysom, and we started Hayden Hurst uncontested. Nary a mention of Taysom Hill.
I let you control that team. Is
We're arguing about Kenny Pickett for 9 hours today.
I
Yeah, you
I
really
let
let him
Davis
have the
push
reins.
buttons. He's the driver. I'm just
I'm just there to
I'm
say,
actually
if you
driving.
put a
I'm
gun to
actually
my head, bro,
driving.
I know who to
take a turn
choose.
here. Take a turn here.
Hang on, keep
well-
going through these. I want to know these start sit decisions.
I
with
mean-
Taysom Hill.
The
They're-
Taysom Hill
okay.
Hayden Hurst thing would have been one to take a turn on, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Taysom Hill had the monster upside.
Yes.
I mean, if he's worth $600 on Fab, you should probably start him over here.
Well, the other thing is like in the leagues I didn't start him, I have Kelsey or Andrews, so it was like, you know.
Wait. So that means we did get
Congrats
Hunter
on
Henry.
having one of the top 3 tight ends.
I think I had
got
to play
30
Taysom
points
in
for my
flex
tight
in one
end
of
in
the
every league last week.
Is that hard? Is that hard to do?
I started
Gretch,
him and
we did.
lost.
Gretch, we get $88 Hunter Henry on Ship Taking.
No, we actually needed a tight end real
what
bad.
was,
We had Darren
what was the
Waller on
next
bye.
bid?
48.
Okay.
Okay.
So your conservative bid of like $27 would not have gotten him.
Yeah.
We needed him as well.
There was
yeah,
no
we needed
decisions.
him.
It was just Taysom or take a 0.
And that was the general your
Worst case scenario for that team would have been winning a Dulcich bid and then us not knowing if he was going to be activated until Sunday and then not having a backup
I'm pretty
option or
sure
having to.
I don't think he will be.
We couldn't start him, even if he was activated.
I believe he is.
Share your screens. Let's see some of these your favorite teams. Come on,
it's
man.
all mobile, Liam. The bids don't process that fast on the website.
No, present. I want to see the layout of your favorite teams. You know, I'm trying to scratch that degen itch.
And
Come
no
on,
one
Pete.
loves masturbating to their teams more than Liam.
No, Liam is
Endorsed
like
by
literally
Disney.
the FBI is like already made multiple calls out to his house. He is number one, like where you at in drafters standings after week 2 in the DMs.
Hey, no, I'm pushing back on that because you guys were like, oh, we're too cool to share where we are. Let the people have some fucking excitement about best ball. We're all getting killed in DFS, like let us celebrate these best ball streets.
Liam had me on his stream, and we drafted a team that for a while was scoring. It was his top scoring team, and I think this week it wasn't. And let me tell you, I couldn't be more fucking happy about it because you were tagging me every week, and then all the people would share their teams. I sent like 35 notifications of people's fucking best ball teams. I was like, come on, stop scoring so well, team.
Fucking friendly fire
I'm the
on
people's
this engagement
champ.
farmer over here.
I'm trying to give the people a chance.
The people's champ.
Tyler Higbee in the flex.
This is a fun team we have with our Crack Rock team. So we got Ramondre.
I love Crack Rock, but him hating on Taysom was just I just love the idea of boomers being like, he's a running back.
It's even funnier. It's even funnier because Crack Rock loves tight ends. That's like his whole bit. And so Taysom breaking his model is just ruining him.
I just love the idea that people are like shaking their fist at the sky, seeing Taysom Hill at tight end.
I mean, we all joke about this, but underdog customer support when Taysom is on the week 17 winner, they're going to be inundated. Like people are going to legit be mad.
No one more mad though than the FFPC.
There's going to be a class action lawsuit against Nick Rudman for classifying Taysom as a tight end on underdog.
The people versus Nick Rudman.
Good luck to the people, honestly. Jesus,
man, that'll be bad.
Did y'all put any bids in on Deion Jackson? What's our thoughts on him?
I already got him on all my teams. Yeah.
I drafted him in Best Ball Mania 3, one of the only teams.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He did your
Liam.
Where do you get your rights?
No, I have on some best ball teams.
Liam content is so good. Because Liam, I love this about Liam. Liam is a very sincere man. Liam is always incredibly sincere, and Pete is like the least sincere guy on the internet. All Pete wants to do is bits, and so the mix is so good.
Well, this is a serious take. Is once the depth charts release, you get to see who the third running back is, and of course, we know Nyheim Hines is not going to get 20 touches a week. So I was like, no one's drafted Deion Jackson, and so sprinkled him in a little bit.
I sprinkled in some Phillip Lindsay there, and then he got leapfrogged by Deion Jackson.
Hey, Liam, we won Kenny Pickett.
Let's go!
Wait, Wait, this whole debate was happening, and Kenny Pickett wasn't even on your team yet?
Well,
it was our waiver order. It was our waiver order.
Oh, okay. I thought they were both on your team. And
that actually makes more sense.
This was the team. We drafted Dak. We decided to keep him. And
I'm on Team Liam now. I thought this was for a spot start for 1 week.
It is a spot start. We don't have another quarterback. It is,
but I want Pickett long term this year.
Exactly.
But we already have our long term quarterback as Dak Prescott.
Not to mention we have Deontay Johnson, an actual.
He's real long term.
Yeah, Dak. I don't know if you want to be hanging your hat on that.
The Cowboys are good, dude. The Cowboys they're figuring it out. They're 4-1
because their defense is good. They're hiding the shit out of Cooper Rush.
Okay, well they're not going to hide Dak.
Well, you say that, but
it's winning.
No, I can't even go there.
I can't even go there. McCarthy will hide Dak. He's gonna have no problem hiding Dak.
What if this time off was what Dak needed to regain his mobility? And what if his ankles are just gonna be like amazing, and he's gonna come in
incredible lower body shape. He's been running.
What does this have to do with his mobility?
This is like
he just had more time to run and stuff.
We're just
Dak did a spiritual Appalachian trail walk and really found himself during this.
Couldn't he have done that over any particular offseason?
No, of course not.
Not enough time, dude. Not enough time.
What are you talking about?
Dude, this average Taysom build is legit going to be over.
It's going to be.
We went way conservative.
high. Yeah.
Yeah. So who has money left? Because people are going fucking 800 for Mike Boone, and they're going 500 for Taysom Hill. There's no money left.
I got a lot of fab left. I don't know what I'm saving it for.
I got a lot of fab. Well, I got a lot of fab left
because I already had Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill is no different right now than he was 1 week ago when he wasn't getting fucking added. He just did a thing that we all knew he could do. Like, no one didn't think that was possible.
To be fair, I would have said,
I think.
I have Taysom on all my teams where I don't have Waller, Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews, Pitts.
Henry pointing out that these are 12-team leagues where everyone has $1,000. That will help you figure out how much money in the pool there is.
Thanks, Henry.
Thanks.
I mean, we all feel that waivers is different this year, right? Though
it's been horrible. I mean,
there hasn't been the guy. There hasn't been the Myles Gaskin or the James.
But I just think that people are better about like thinking of contingent.
Who should be on their roster in general? Like roster, like there are way. Although I would say
there's like not people having 4 quarterbacks.
No, but that's different.
Defenses.
The multiple quarterback injuries is probably the most interesting wrinkle of waiver wires this year, where there are multiple teams holding multiple quarterbacks because of Lance, Dak, huge underperformance by Russell Wilson, big underperformance the first 3 weeks by Tom Brady. Like a lot of teams who thought they had their back don't have a quarterback.
Lawrence, that guy must have watched the Bills game because Pickett looked pretty good in that game against a great defense.
See, I don't think that it's that different of a year. I think Jeff Wilson got kind of on track to be this year's like come out of nowhere guy, but people came around to him just in time.
In time.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's, all this stuff. It's like James Robinson, we probably should have come around to. We came around to like a week and a half later than we did Jeff Wilson. And it made a huge difference in terms of fab.
Here's the thing. Benjamin would have been this guy in the main event 3 years ago.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
That's
like, what?
True, yeah.
Who could emerge right now? Like, okay, Pierre Strong. If he like, other than like both.
I actually think if let's say Ramondre were to get injured this week, then you would see $650 bids on Pierre Strong.
Agreed.
Or JJ
but
Taylor.
like, what other positions are like what? Like, I guess season-ending injury to CMC.
I mean, the other thing is every team. It just pisses yellow now and holds 8 wide receivers, and it's wide receivers in the flex. That changes the complexity of it too.
Guys that I could see being massive waiver bids. It sounds like a bit. Ronald Jones. I could see Isaiah Spiller being a massive bid at some point.
I don't think Spiller's going to happen, man.
I think Spiller would need like 2 injuries though.
Probably 3. Probably 3.
We're seeing multiple injuries here. I'm just giving names of guys in offenses that would actually
Dearness
be
Johnson if he were to get traded.
I mean, or just an injury, right? Chubb or Hunt. Dearness Johnson is going for $400.
Oh, I mean, if Dearness Johnson had like a job, I would empty the clip. I think that dude's good.
Yeah, but he's not going to get. It's just the NFL never trades anyone. It's very boring.
I know.
I feel like we're just looking for somebody to empty the clip on.
That's why we should have emptied it on Taysom, because there's no one like we're doing this exercise.
Did y'all get Taysom?
No, he went for 667 in our league.
It's pretty normal the last couple weeks, and I mean the Mike Boone stuff, all that stuff. Like we had some big injuries, we had pretty normal waivers, and I don't know. I just feel like we're like we want a guy to empty the clip on, but that doesn't happen every year.
Chipit says Myles Gaskin, which like. I could see that.
Yeah, I could see it. If Edmonds dusted and Mostert gets hurt.
Yeah, I could totally. Yeah. That's actually a good one. We should think about him.
Mostert, by the way, did not practice today. Just if you're throwing your Myles Gaskin $1 bids on Friday out there.
Where was this info?
Why didn't you talk about this in the group chat instead of fucking screaming about Taysom Hill?
He's saving it for the post waiver bids.
Our running backs are too good. We don't have a drop. On Ship Taeking,
running backs are too good. Have you looked at our running backs?
Derrick Henry's on bye.
This is actually the classic ship chasing problem, in which you have 6 running backs so you can squint and see them being really good, but none of them are good enough to score points the weeks you actually need them to score
Davis,
points.
We really like squinting.
We call it beer goggles. You throw the beer goggles on our running backs, we're like, that's a fucking 10 right there, baby.
Shit,
Like,
you see these running backs?
I mean, is there a more beer goggles running back than Rachaad White, who like clearly is the best handcuff running back in like the history of fantasy football?
Would smash
so hard. I am so psyched about all the Rachaad White.
But under no circumstances can you start him. So it's horrible.
Nope,
Wait till we hit the buys. Wait till we hit the buys and ask us under no circumstances can we start him.
Okay, would you rather spend $250 on Tavius Murray or $667 on Taysom Hill?
I hate this question. This is like, would you rather like sleep with your dad or with your mom? Like, it's just an awful hypothetical.
Let me ask you guys a better question then. In most of my leagues, I would say I'm like 700 plus fab. At what and let's say we're getting closer to the turf. Do you start adding second defenses for like week 16 purposes? Like, are you like, is that part of your equation at all? What are you doing with that fab, that part of the season, I guess? We're a couple weeks
I don't
out.
think you should ever burn fab on meaningless bullshit. So like while you can, maybe do look ahead ads at defense, no one else really does that. So if you want to do that, you should still spend $1.
No, I'm talking about like you want a defense for week 16. You're trying to win the $1 million.
Liam,
you have a team that's going to make it.
No, you could do that. You can do that in like the last bid because or maybe like 2 weeks ahead. Like you're not competing with any. You're just burning a roster spot for no reason to do that because no one else does that.
But you're not going to use all the depth of your roster weeks 50.
I mean, you should. Like, you shouldn't handicap your roster for no reason.
Yeah, and you need some low-owned guys if you're out of first, I guess.
Yeah, it's just going to be hard to imagine starting them, and if they have the ceiling to catch up. I will say, though, to your point, Liam, I think there is probably more thorough in-game thinking that should be done as far as roster prep and getting stuff ready in optimizing even those little small things with kicker and defense.
Brother, I got OBJ on all these rosters. We're holding.
No, that's a bridge.
This is why like owning teams with Liam is like on one hand it's good, and then on the other hand he's talking about Odell in week 6. So it's just, and do you know why? I mean, do you know why Liam has Odell in these teams? He was at the Buffalo airport, so Liam is like. So Liam's like, dude, I got to spend $3 on Odell.
Hey, God, I want to know how drunk you are, Liam. Who would you rather stash, Treylon Burks or Odell Beckham?
I mean,
God damn it. The pause is so concerning.
I think it has to be like, I have a lot of Burks, and I'm not really sure. Whatever. Let's say both are Odell's in the Rams. Treylon Burks is on the Titans. It's week 16. Both are fully healthy. Who do you want there? That's got to be Odell, right?
No.
If
Burks is even
OBJ is fully healthy, he's what he was last year.
Because Liam,
they have the 31st graded pass blocking line.
I know.
Fucking protect Stafford to save their lives.
Yeah,
I'm taking Odell there.
Yeah,
What?
right. Thank you, Gretch.
No,
The Titans are a really shitty passing.
Yeah, like you're
So are
talking
the
about the fucking
Rams.
Titans.
I mean,
You
the
guys
Rams
are
need a
missing the
second
huge part
player
of
to
this equation.
step
The
up.
Titans need a
Allen
first
Robinson
player.
becomes the tight end, blocks a little bit.
I think
if
you look at all
Burks
the
is in
volume that Tyler Higbee's
consideration-
getting underneath, and I can see the argument for Odell. If he can come back and act like Allen Robinson needs to just get cut, like outright. He's not going to. He has a huge contract, but they got nothing.
If Burks is in the range of guys you're considering starting in week 16, that means he's smashing. It's not like should we start Deontay Johnson or Treylon Burks? It's like Treylon Burks just ripped off 8 catches for 120 yards and a touchdown.
But I mean, he just had a high ankle sprain.
Start during a 3-week sprint. Like
that's
he
different.
just had a high ankle sprain and went to IR. Like we're not even sure he'll be back after
Turf
4.
toe,
How
which I don't
healthy
even know
high
if
ankle
it's
sprains
better.
linger? It derailed
it's
like
a
that.
turf toe. It's not a high ankle sprain.
Oh,
but
right.
I mean,
turf toe.
I don't even think that might be better. Turf toe,
Right.
can also
It can linger as well.
Yeah.
My concern is how long does it take him to get back to healthy, and then in this offense, like I kind of feel like this is going to wind up being a little bit of a wasted year for him.
Well, but
I agree with
the
that,
hypothetical
Ben. I
is
think
they're
that's
both healthy.
The hypothetical is they're both healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess I didn't really think through.
I mean, is it like the Burks we've seen so far, or is it this Burks that we hope he is?
We don't know.
Like,
We don't know.
Burks
We don't know. That's
Burks
part of
was-
the hypothetical.
Oh, no,
There's the
Burks
then
looks
it's
happy with
OBJ
himself.
because we know OBJ is good, and we don't know like.
No,
like, if
Burks
OBJ
looks sweet. I thought he
Yeah,
looked
Burks.
sweet.
Burks has a much higher ceiling as the alpha at the end of the season if he can get healthy. Then
Burks was breaking out earlier than a lot of us thought he would before he got
He led all rookies.
I mean, that Rams
line
line is just disastrous.
It is. So I guess the reason I was saying I would side with Liam is just that idea of the haves and have-nots where, like, the Titans pass offense in December, like, they held down A.J. Brown for a long time.
Malik Willis could be starting, you know?
I don't think that's going to happen personally, but
that would be bad for Burks, though.
But that would be bad for Burks. I agree.
Yeah, that would be bad. Stafford can support receivers. That's just what I was thinking. But anyway,
OBJ also did tear his ACL in February, by the way. So in terms of the health stuff,
look at Godwin. Godwin is not back to full strength, and he tore his a whole 6 weeks before Odell did. I think Odell is a dog to post a 20 fantasy point game in the year of our Lord 2022.
Yeah. I mean, I would focus more on the Odell fully healthy part of the hypothetical.
Oh, this is probably, if you were playing the FFPC main event and you're in my leagues, stop listening right now. At what point are you guys considering starting to throw a buck on Deshaun Watson on tour? You've been trying to just survive at quarterback.
I've been talking about Watson for 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
I just got Watson in one where we drafted Russell Wilson, who is like the worst quarterback.
I feel like it's kind of a sucker play, personally. I mean, you're wasting a roster spot for the entire regular season in these like mains.
Well, I mean,
and then when do you start him? He's got 11 game suspension. I don't think you're starting in week 12. I mean,
I think you are.
If Russell Wilson is your
Josh Allen 101, baby, you don't have to think about this.
If Russell Wilson is your alternative, I think it could be anything even above with Deshaun Watson seems a lot better.
Agreed.
In those scenarios, I guess.
I think you're starting him the first week he's back.
But I feel like he could also just be not very good towards the end of this year. The Browns' offense is pretty conducive to him coming in and playing.
Yeah, Brissett's doing all right. You got to assume he's in good shape. You got to assume there's also. I absolutely hate to go there with this because Watson fucking sucks, and so do the Browns. But there is going to be a little bit. I mean, football guys, a little bit of that fuck you. Like everyone's, yada yada. We're, us versus them type shit. Like there's gonna be a little bit of running up the score and stuff. I think, especially in his first.
Amari looks good.
And Njoku looks good.
Looks good.
I think DPJ should be a player that people are adding more for when Watson returns.
This was something else I was looking at right now.
I think during the bye weeks, I think you end up tossing him back, but I don't mind it if
This is something else I was looking at Watson, his schedule after he gets back. He's at the Texans the first game, which everyone's talked about. That's indoors. If you're willing to start him his very first game back, I mean, I guess it can make sense.
Seems like probably the right spot to start him.
He goes at the Bengals in December. Not horrible necessarily, but could be not great weather. Then they're back home in Cleveland for 2 more games in December. You get the wind. Remember late last year, the freaking Cleveland games, they had multiple games. We couldn't even play the passing games.
So bad, yeah.
2 home games against the Ravens and Saints. Pretty good defenses. And then the championship week.
You can pass on the Ravens.
He gets 5 weeks. The last
Geno Smith also just went off against the Saints. I'm not buying this bear case. I think the win part is legit, but these.
Well, let's talk about in practice.
It's 3 outdoor games in a row in Ohio.
Yeah,
I actually think he makes sense more for teams who already have, let's say, a top 7 or 8 quarterback. Because if you're rostering him as part of a committee, I think you need him as part of 3 QB committee. Because if you have 2 dust ball quarterbacks like we do with Zach Wilson and Pickett, you need to be playing matchups with those guys mostly. And so then he needs to be your 3rd QB. And then the opportunity cost starts to get higher. Whereas if you have like Lamar Jackson and you want to toss him on as like your upside hammer, I get it more. But I don't know if you want to be carrying.
Kyler might be the guy like where you're kind of
Kyler.
Like,
yeah.
Well, I don't know because it's like maybe you guys just drafted a lot more stars than me, but I got I'm just holding some running backs that could fall into situations. And I guess you could just.
Who do you think you're talking to, dude?
Yeah.
Or wide receivers. But what I'm saying is, if you're just holding a quarterback instead of one of those darts that could.
We need those running back darts, though.
The whole point with those running backs is to have a lot of them because you don't know what's going to happen.
The team where I added Watson, we have Ramondre and Eckler as our running backs, so we're doing less of the lottery ticket stuff, but our quarterbacks are Wilson, Goff, and now we just dropped Phillip Lindsay for Sean Watson.
So you're going to carry added him in our team, Davis, and dropped Goff.
I was thinking with Watson is that you don't do it on the Kyler team. You do it on the Pickett team but with the idea that you're gonna like start Pickett, and if Pickett's not doing it, you're cutting Pickett and you're going and picking up Carson Wentz, and you're just like straight up.
No, Liam watched it. Liam watched Pickett at a truck stop. He's not worried about Pickett not doing it. It's gonna be fine.
Liam, will you admit something right now? If the Bills didn't play the Steelers last week and you didn't watch Kenny Pickett grinding his film in a truck stop, you wouldn't give a shit about him this week.
Well, I don't think I know all the context of what was happening. Box score watchers, they're like, Kenny Pickett threw 3 picks against the Jets. All of those were off his wide receiver's hands.
You're only not a box score watcher because this was the Bills game.
That's not really that important, Pat. We're trying to say facts here. Also, I heard a young Ben Gretsch last week on this very show say Pickett could be good. So respected.
Gretsch loves Pickett.
We were in on Pickett before the truck stop game, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah,
we were talking about how he looked good in the preseason because we were grinding the preseason film over here.
It got the Ben Gretsch stamp of approval. It got the Liam iWatch in the Welcome Center of Florida approval against the Buffalo Bills defense, the best defense in football. Which, if we did a main event, we would have that on our team. So, arrows up. Also, I'm sorry, but when Daniel Jones is your alternative, what are you missing out on?
10.2
Wan'Dale Robinson
fantasy
coming
points
back
per
and sending him to the moon.
Unless
Liam, what's causing the echo on your audio? Because you're yelling right into the mic to the point that it's peaking, but yet there's an echo.
You look really good.
I get this a lot. I don't know, Mike.
It's crazy that there's an echo.
He's in a cavernous room. I mean, when you win $1 million and your fucking office is the size of a small townhome.
Mike's not even on, buddy.
It is on. He just
a quick run through shows that I just got Pierre Strong in, I think, every league. So
nice.
Go Jackrabbits.
We got him in a fair amount of leagues.
I am not like the Fab reports. I'm just looking at my rosters.
Is the echo from you speaking?
I got a bunch. I checked my teams with Sean.
No, sorry. It's not like a feedback echo. You just sound like
Liam. The actual acoustic answer is because you are speaking. There's no wall behind you, right? Like if you rearranged your desk and had your computer.
Well, some would say my 49-inch monitor is quite the wall, but
I checked my teams with Sean just now, and he did not get my message because we have very little Fab left and lots of Taysom Hill.
Wow, God, I guess
Sean
Sean
you have real alpha on your, and by the way that Sean, it's a good bid because he's not doing it for Twitter clout because he doesn't care about Twitter clout. So that means those are really good, strong.
Twitter
bids.
Clout doesn't pay the bills. I'm not doing anything for Twitter.
Speak for yourself.
Then can you stop these engagement farming threads if it's not paying the bills, Liam? I mean, my God.
That's like a directional play to get some eyes on the YouTube that I'm half in, half out on,
Yeah, when was the last time you did a YouTube video, Liam?
Last week I did a breakdown. I think I nailed the Gabe Davis week. I said if he is a full
a broken
practice,
clock,
he got a jail.
A broken clock, Liam.
Four times a year. 4 times a year.
Of all the things that you would have nailed,
I also said I'm either playing Ramondre or Damian Harris in all my lineups, and I'm playing Breece Hall.
Now, what would you say got you on Gabe Davis, Liam?
Plays for the Bills. I also said the Bills are a team that does not mind running up the score, especially early in the season. They want to get their offense right. Like teams with these new pieces, the Chiefs too.
Liam. Chiefs Bills this week, buddy.
The Bills should be like 10-point favorites.
Yeah, they actually should be.
I actually have a very similar take. I was surprised.
I would never.
And stop playing bringbacks against them in DFS. Like the Chiefs are a little bit different, but people forcing bringbacks against the Bills are missing the mark.
Although the Pickens bring back at that cost last week was fine.
That worked, but that's only because the Bills knew they were playing
only
rookie.
because Kenny Pickett's good and I saw.
No, they played man defense when usually they play zone. They're like, all right, this is a rookie. We can do literally whatever. And so let's let our rookie corner get stuff. Yes, Stephanie. Jam. Cash play right there.
How bummed out are you going to be if that Bills bag fumble this game though?
I don't know how they lose other than like 75 kickoff fumbles.
Well, they are playing the greatest quarterback in the history of the sport.
No, Josh Allen is the best quarterback, and people need to get hip to that.
Why is his adjusted yards per attempt so low if he's the best quarterback ever?
Yo, we're gonna see on Sunday. All right, brother.
No, we're not going to see. The Bills are going to win. It's just not a referendum.
Can we
on
get a
which
mayoral
quarterback
bet
is the best.
between you guys?
No, because I am very realistic. The Chiefs, this is a rebuilding year. They traded away their best player on offense, other than their quarterback, for a first-round pick. They saved some salary, and their quarterback's good enough to win them the division anyways. But they're not going to win the Super Bowl this year.
This is
which
not
is
a
okay.
rebuilding year.
Is Juju hurt at all,
4-1.
or is he just done?
He's
Like,
done.
I think he's a little
dust.
banged up, though,
yeah.
right?
No, he cannot generate any separation, and every target that should go to the area of the field where he can actually win just goes to Travis Kelce instead because Kelsey's so much better.
That
He can
reminds me,
generate
next time-
separation, but he has to leap through the air and fall to the ground. That's the only move he's got.
I'm going to give a take that the Bills are going to get way more money this week, and it's a fish bet, and the Chiefs are going to win at home.
Well, I mean, Mahomes in his career has
See you
never.
Sunday, brother. Hope your Twitter can take it.
It's going to be a good game. Like, it's not going to be a blowout.
I actually had the opposite take. I think that both of these head coaches know how, because the winner of this game will get the 1 seed in the AFC, like a huge percentage of the time, and so both of these coaches, I think, are actually going to play pretty tight. I don't think that it's going to be like, let's throw 70-yard bombs to Gabe Davis season.
I think the Chiefs could, I think the over-under, maybe you take the under, but the problem is the Bills could score 40 by themselves. And so then...
I like the Bills a lot. I guess I'm a fish. I like the Bills a lot. I think the Chiefs, their inability to stretch the field against a team that doesn't blitz, and they drop all their defenders back in coverage, like that seems like a real problem.
They're going to make them kill them down the field with Juju and Kelsey.
Yeah.
And they are just going to have Von Miller and, Greg Rousseau coming off the edge. And Von Miller is much better than what we saw.
Greg Rousseau, is that 2
Rouss?
Liam, if the Josh Allen Bills never win a Super Bowl, how would that impact you emotionally as a person?
Well, they already won me $1 million, so shout out Josh.
I literally think you would maybe prefer them winning the Super Bowl to you yourself winning $1 million.
I usually strictly in DFS stack the Bills. It's a pretty good tactic. You guys
God damn it, dude.
You guys should follow.
This guy's going to win another million.
He's won far more money than me
him.
this year. Played DFS, just fucking jamming.
No, I've been getting
favorite
killed in
team every
DFS
week.
other than last week. But because I was like,
where do you get your idea?
I should not have been playing Gabe Davis when his practice report goes limited practice, did not practice, limited practice. I should not have been doing that. But once he was full practices, he's back.
Who's your Bills bring back this week?
Who am I bringing back on the Chiefs side?
Oh yeah.
Are you not playing
Oh,
the Chiefs side? You're playing.
You're
the
not
Bills side?
triple stacking Mahomes and choosing a Bills bring back.
If I do bring back Chiefs, I'm bringing back McKinnon because I think they're going to be down and they're going to need to get points that way.
Yeah, and I think you're giving up way too many projected points at running back this week. That's
does projected points win fucking tournaments?
You guys are making my case for me, which is that every week we say that Vegas is an efficient market and we should really have a sharp eye on the spots where everyone thinks, and I thought it right away looking at it maybe the Bills should be higher, but when everyone thinks the line should be higher.
The Bills are also getting pieces back. They're getting a lot of pieces back that they not had.
I bet that's priced in. I bet that's priced in.
No.
I don't think the public knows that. And the public's the one who's betting.
Gretch, you know what this is? It's the Lions-Patriots game from last week where your dumbass buddy who does 16 same-game parlays a week is like, I can't believe the Lions are dogs to the Patriots with Bailey Zappi, and they get shut out. That's totally what it is.
Except it's the opposite. Everyone wants to play the Bills side. You're saying that's going to happen to the Chiefs, but everyone is looking at this and going, how are the Bills only 2.5-point favorites? They should be 10-point favorites.
Yeah, but it's not over the key number. You're not getting 3 with KC. You basically need them to win. If it goes to 3, maybe.
I think there's a lot of people that hate Buffalo that are like, oh, Patrick Mahomes home dog. I don't think so. I don't think we're tapped into this public that's betting
just
these games.
at me, Liam.
You know,
I mean,
like the Pat McAfee people watching and betting, like if he's gonna come out and be like Patrick Mahomes at home, you know. Like,
Nez is right. I've already heard this multiple times this week. People love this narrative. Mahomes, the home dog, first time ever.
I mean, if I did just offer you a blind wager for the rest of your life, you get a 5-unit bet every time Patrick Mahomes is a home underdog until he retires. You end up how much ahead on that?
where are we at on is the Chiefs defense good? Because I thought to start the season
they're not good. No,
they're not looking
they're,
that way.
They're no good, and they've been no good. They won a Super Bowl with a terrible defense. It doesn't matter.
Well, but at the end of last season, they were very bad. Like that's different than.
Well, here's the thing: this defensive coordinator that they have, very inside football here, Steve Spagnuolo. He's just insanely aggressive, which really pays off. The 3 times a year it pays off, and then when you're sending 0 blitzes with both of your dime corners rushing the quarterback, and Josh Allen reads that, I mean, you're dusted, right? So.
I want to be clear, too, because Dalton had that comment. I should make it official. I'm not going to be taking the Chiefs. I'm not advocating bet the Chiefs. I wanted to bet the Bills, but I was like, I'm just going to stay away from this game.
Well, the Bills should be minus 10, so minus 2.5, good value.
Do you think it's a big deal the line moved from 1.5 to 2.5?
Yeah, I mean, it's a moderately big deal, yeah.
No.
It's not across like a major point yet.
It doesn't matter till it gets to 3. I would say if it gets to Bills minus 3, I
was trying to poo-poo. I didn't know. I thought Pat was saying it was a big deal.
Well, because I guess that if it opened, my point is if it opened at 1.5, because you're saying we should be siding with Vegas. I guess I'm saying like I feel like you still kind of are getting an okay line relative to what Vegas thought it was worth now. Like you're not having to cross a key number. If it goes to 3, then I would agree with the take that it's kind of a sucker bet at 3. It opened at 1.5. You're siding with the public to bet,
Liam already
said to take the Bills at 2.5. You're still.
I don't think it's bad to take the Bills at 2.5. It's not bad yet. It might get bad.
I teased it up to Bills minus 10. Got great value.
Yeah, he got Bills minus 10 on the alternate line on DraftKings.
Do you have any of your $1 million left?
I live in Florida. I'm not allowed to sports bet.
Wow, 65% of bets on the Chiefs so far from Travis here.
Okay, but that's what
I didn't expect.
Isn't that very flawed though? Like that doesn't account for all books. Like, and is that like I don't know. I feel like that number that gets reported is always flawed.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like 80.
And sports books don't have any incentive to be honest. Like they can just send out a lie.
Liam, question for you: Are you ripping battle royales and stuff? Are you in the weekly underdog streets?
I've had a weird start to the NFL season where I've had like 3 weddings and 2 birthdays. So like I just haven't had a lot of time that I usually would. So I have not been grinding those as much. I was on the Badge Bros last week. That was a ton of fun. I want to do that more, especially if I keep getting killed in DFS. But I think it's fun.
I got to give 2 shout outs. One, obviously stat chasing here. Sam and Connor have been doing a great job with that. That releases for YouTube members every Tuesday night and then available to everyone else on Wednesdays. And they go through the league from an analytic perspective and then kind of funnel it through the lens of battle royales, the resurrection, which is about to close. And then of course, what Liam just mentioned too, the Badge Bros, they got their YouTube channel doing awesome stuff over there. Nez in the chat tonight, one of the Badge Bros, John Warner, Numi, who gets bumped for the overlays. They got a good crew over there. So yeah, if you're looking for content on the weekly contest, highly recommend the Badge Bros.
Yeah, I'm trying to do like Thursday, I think.
Liam, why don't you just buy like the most expensive Josh Allen Rainmaker? That feels like literally right up.
Bro, I've been in these Rainmaker streets and only in the elite tier. That is an up and down.
Not if you have Josh Allen and Gabe Davis.
Well, the Rainmaker, first off, there's no money in the Rainmaker tier. It's in the that's a whole other discussion, this whole Rainmakers thing. But I'm in the elite tier where you can actually win. I'm a large field GPP guy, not like a 20-man field, pay $20,000.
You're not battling Brandon Adams for CryptoPunks, is what you're saying?
No, I'm not trying to battle Smiz and Brandon Adams, and I don't know. That guy came off unlikable, Jason Robin or whoever's the guy, Matt Kalish, the guy who's like he's just like changing his story every fucking week. Like he panders to one crowd if he's speaking to them. And panders to another crowd. They can't get best ball fucking live scoring on DK. They got Rainmakers up and running. Like, what the fuck?
a run. He just dropped like 7 names, just throwing out a list of grievances.
Bro, I've been watching this poker
fuck
cheating
this.
scandal for weeks
let's talk
on
about
Joe
it.
Ingram's podcast.
Yeah,
If
what's
you guys
going
are
on
not
with that,
tuned
huh?
into that shit
Is that like a real
insane.
thing? Like that she cheated?
So
Did she
she
cheat?
definitely cheated. She's
No,
a
no, no, no,
pathological
no,
liar.
no, no, no,
All
no,
these
no,
fucking
no, no,
simps
no,
are
no,
getting
no.
wrapped up.
Liam,
David,
Fuck
I actually play poker.
Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out.
Did you say I actually play poker?
Well, okay, because I'm sorry, but like you're hearing, it got picked up by some crowds that are like,
yes,
oh.
Liam, I'm going to stop you from getting canceled and explain it in a way that is non-cancelable. So if you were
"Don't cancel
unaware,
me, I don't make any money in public. I bet.
Don't
So-
say you can't cancel me. Just let Davis explain.
Liam is correct that this specific poker story did get picked up by a lot of like blue check liberal New York Times style writers who basically interpreted the story as this woman won a hand of poker she was not supposed to win. And their interpretation of it was very like Gelman amnesia, in the sense that they have no expertise in this area, but they just assume because of the ingrained sexism that exists and like everything in the world that people were just mad that this was a woman. Then all these poker players explain like, actually X, Y, and Z, cheating's a pretty big deal in poker. This is a situation where it could have happened. And it makes no sense for her to play the hand this way because of X, Y, and Z. And they're like, nah, she didn't cheat. And then, I mean, obviously there's like literally hundreds and hundreds of hours of content about this. This is where I'm at, Liam.
She cheated.
I'm about 60% cheated, 40% not cheated is my because here's my biggest takeaway is that it would just be such a bizarre spot to cheat.
They are dumb. They are dumb.
I don't think they're
they
I
are
don't
like
think they're-
dumb enough that they think they can pull.
No, because if they
Who
were
is
that
they,
dumb,
Liam? Specify they.
Okay,
there's too many people. There's too many people involved.
Chat,
We
let
literally
me-
don't
chat.
have enough time.
Chat, you know, we have a lot of people watching tonight. Just if you guys want this poker talk, I'll fucking indulge it. I actually find it interesting. I have no clue if you guys do.
I've
Let me know in
gone
the chat.
deep down this rabbit hole too.
I think it's interesting.
I think
I don't
everyone-
have
What
any
about the guy that
interest
took
in
the chips
poker
off the
at
stack?
all. I think this has now reached a like broad interest level.
There was a front page
Yes.
article in the New York Times about this girl.
Yeah.
LA Times too.
This is not niche.
I did
anymore.
not know it was on the New York Times and all this. I didn't realize it got big.
What?
Robbie Lou is her name.
Let me
she
talk
was on-
about a couple characters in the story, if you would. So first off, you have to check into Joe Ingram's YouTube channel, Joe Ingram 1.
Yeah, just carve out 60 hours to watch his 10-hour live stream.
Well, this is what
Great
I'm saying.
wreck,
Is,
Liam.
this man is insane, where he's doing 13-hour live streams every single night, investigating. And what's so brilliant is he refuses to come off as like he has a side. And anyone who's accused of cheating and to such a degree would know it's obvious. You shut the fuck up and you don't go on a bunch of YouTube channels and whatnot. And so, but this lady, Robbie Jade Lou, is taking the opposite idea. She has an eye for fame, and she's coming on the pod. She's attacking people. She's changing her story left and right.
Davis
Everything
has
is
to drop.
oh. That's,
Keep
that's
going. Keep going. The chat likes this, so let's
so
do it.
yeah, she's changing her story left and right. You have Nick Vertucci, who, please don't show me this is all allegedly, but allegedly ran some like kind of like Trump University type scams where he's like robbing people of like real estate type things, and is now running this live stream game. And you have Robbie, who cheated this guy, Garrett, who was the worst Survivor player ever, apparently, out of $130,000. And then you have this guy that came out and got caught stealing $15,000 from her chip stack during the live stream, which
they found while surveying the security footage to see if anything crazy happened, that he was working there and he took money off her stack from the table.
Why would he be? So she's
Well, let's
cheating
talk about
live
that, Pat.
on. Yeah, so she's
What the
cheating
fuck?
live on a poker stream,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
this guy, from what I've watched on this, is kind of not just in on this, but like the guy feeding her the information, the inside guy. So he takes this opportunity to steal money from her on camera,
Yeah, he's
commit a crime on camera while they're engaged in a separate
made me
crime
laugh.
together, to cheat also on camera. I guess like that part of it is like
no, Pat,
so
do not
crazy to me.
remove the logic. Like, people keep on trying to apply their own personal logic. Like, well,
Why did
would
he
you choose
steal?
these spots?
From her.
Well,
He is
so
a
Pat,
degenerate. He's
but
like a
Pat-
true degenerate.
I think there's a logical explanation though of she gave the money back to Garrett, and if he was in on the cut and he was worried about getting his full cut, he might be like, I'm gonna go fucking grab my cut right off the table.
No, what I'm
So
saying is
did
he's a
she
true
say,
degenerate.
I'm giving the money back to Garrett before he stole the money?
And he let out a scream in the backstage. Like a
oh, I missed that.
Here's an
like
I actually heard
apparently
that,
there
yeah.
was an alleged he was backstage and was like really upset.
He
that
goes,
the
my money that I helped
My
gain
money
is
that I
getting
just
taken.
And if you do the math, 15K of 135 is like whatever, 10%, 50%, whatever it is, like a reasonable cut number. And
Then
I don't
Okay,
know.
here's another question. Because
You
I
got
actually
this other
I-
guy. Just that you got
Okay.
this other guy who works for the company that's different than the guy who took the money.
who is a con? You should not
Who
be hired,
plays-
by the way.
Who plays on some streams for money. And I got sent this spreadsheet that is like his results by seat.
Yeah, so this guy, we'll get to this character. We're not
And
to
this
him.
is the seat 2 versus other is the total breakdown. Oh, come on, Zoom. Come on.
So this
Oh,
is
there it
talking
is.
about
seat 2 he
2.
crushes, right? And
And for
that's
those
what
who don't-
Robbie was in, was seat 2.
And for those who don't know, seat 2 is an easier seat to cheat from for several reasons. It's
Whatever
not that-
reason.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares what the reason is? There's obviously something going on with seat 2, or that spreadsheet makes it seem as if there is.
And I mean, like this Nick Vertucci character.
What's going
like,
on with seat 2?
I mean, you have people asking innocent questions like, hey, like, and he's like attacking them, like so defensive, which like, I guess that could be an emotional response you have, but I mean,
What do you make to her? Because again, like juxtaposed against the Mike Postle stuff, where he kept a really low profile, lawyered up, went under the radar. Robbie's like fucking getting blasted and going on Ingram's podcast. Like this is very bizarre behavior.
this is not a joke where she said things like, I mean, she's clearly angling for fame, but she said things like, maybe I'll drop a sex tape. Maybe I'll start like, so I don't know. Is it OnlyFans money? I don't fucking know why she's doing this. I think she is insane and she clearly like feeds off attention and she has it all wrapped
Do you
around.
think they're legit rich, like her husband, the metaverse lawyer, or you think they're fake rich?
I think she's definitely fake rich. Like, I think he maybe is rich, but I mean, you don't get staked 150K because you're gaga rich. By the way, how rich do you have to be to just stake someone 100K? Like proper bankroll management, what is that? Like, are you worth $200 million? Are you like, what is the number to do that where you have this other cowboy hat character guy who staked her, who apparently they're having extramarital affairs, which is kind of important because
hang on. Because are you saying they're married to other people or they're just hooking
yes,
up?
they're married to other people.
Okay, all right. Well, then
but then he's staking her in the game, and like they're like signaling each other during the game. It's like, how many crazy things have to be explained until you're just like, I've met people like this in my life. I know a pathological liar and shady people when this happens. Like, this is insane. Like, and I legitimately don't understand. Like, you had some smart people come on Joe Ingram's pod who's like, it would be really hard to cheat in chess and poker. And it's like, okay, first off, you're not a chess player, but it would be so easy to cheat in over-the-board chess. It would be as simple as sticking a buzzer in your shoe, in your person, wherever, whatever hole on your body, and just literally buzzing when there's a move to find. And the person cheating in chess, because obviously they're a little connected here, they're good enough at chess that if they were signaled that there is a move to find, they could find it. But they might not know to look for that move unless they were told. And so it would be so easy to do that, like incredibly easy. Security at chess tournaments is so fucking lax. This is like there is none at all. And
it's like a lock that the chess guy cheated, right? Like he's completely
it's unquestionable he cheated online, and then this thing came out that from chess.com, my former employer. I do not have any inside knowledge. I do not have any talking to anyone, but
they have a business relationship with Magnus, right?
Yes, they do. So this is complicated where, I mean, in one hand, maybe Garrett and Magnus threw a hissy fit essentially and like freaked out and lost their brains. And the other hand, maybe they know cheating is happening and they're running the gambit of just like, let's blow it up. Let's get some eyes here. You can't prove someone got buzzed once or twice a game. No cheat detection is going to catch that over the board. It's not as easy. Like when someone cheats online, it's really easy. It's like, where does their mouse click? Like, how do they play? You know, like it's just much easier to catch a cheater online than over the board.
Wait, so can I ask about the poker thing? Because I don't play poker. I understand like how to play Texas Hold'em, but I'm not good.
Hang on, what was the one in Vegas when you had quads and how did you misplay your quads? I remember. Did you get like?
I fucked it up somehow. I don't.
You got like the least amount of value you could out of your quads.
Because I didn't get people.
I think you called on the river with quads as opposed to raising.
Oh, and they will.
I don't know.
They'll actually give you a penalty for that too. Usually.
Well, it was penalty worthy. I don't know how to play poker in terms of the bet sizing, when to raise, when to call, any of that shit. But from what I understand, so what she does, right? She is like she's going further into this hand where she's a dog based on what they're showing on the site or, on the stream. They're showing like he has a 54% chance or whatever to win this hand. And she's making a stand on this hand.
No, but if you're in her shoes to explain, you would think you're never, ever winning.
1% chance.
Because you're going to get more information on the following card.
No, you just
she said jack high.
Because what's on the board is 10, 10, 9, 3.
But does she know his hand for sure?
No, you don't know that. So
she had him. To make the play, she would have thought he was bluffing. But there was other ways he could have been bluffing.
But here's the thing: is if you think that he's bluffing, every single bluff is better than the hand she has.
That's what I was saying. But
even with the hand that he did have, she was a dog.
You would have to
he had
know,
a flush draw or something,
exactly,
right?
And you would have to exactly know that was his hand. And so,
you basically had to have him on a straight and
8-7 of clubs.
Yeah.
But even then, why did she play it?
Well, because there's two ways to cheat. Either one, she's getting buzzed, you're ahead, or maybe she's being told you're ahead and then signaled but fold. Like if the guy cheating only knows the graphics of the cards. In another sense, maybe they know the runouts. Maybe they know the future cards.
And that seems so much harder.
That seems really hard, but there's ways to do that. There's ways to do that with.
I saw that a lot, but how? What would the ways be to do that? How would you know the deck?
So it really depends what system they're running. You could have tech that basically has the ability to like see through the cards and shit like that, or you could when it's in the automatic shuffler, there's like things that's going to tell you future streams.
I did hear there was an automatic shuffler installed like 2 months before, and that
there's a lot of weird shit that
someone had like a camera or some shit in there.
It makes a ton of sense that she was told you have the best hand, but not smart enough to know it's such an absurd spot that if you want to keep this ruse going, you fucking fold. Like
you fold jack high,
And it goes back to this thing people talked about with Postel. I think Haralabah mentioned it on one of the Ingrams. It makes it scary of knowing if there were less stupid cheaters, how long this shit could go on, where you just win at a 55% clip, a 60% clip, and you don't fucking blow it in the most obvious spots like this.
Or you just target an actual poker player who's a little down on their luck and like willing to do shady shit. Like, don't target a pure person like Robbie to pull the scam who comes off as like crazy fun player. Just choose someone that you would never ever suspect when something unusual happens. You just be like, oh wow, what a crazy call, Like I agree. There could be a lot of cheating in a lot of different ways in poker that people don't.
Do you think we ever get clarity, or does this go like the
situation? So a lot to me didn't make like a lot of people were like, oh well, how come no one came forward? Because there's like 2 billionaires, or at least 1 billionaire, Bill Perkins, and I don't know how rich Haralabah is. Professional
Harry
sports
Potter.
Better. Yeah, but anyways, they both put up 100K, and people are like, "Oh, well, they didn't claim the bounty." Hello, if people are indicted in this cheating thing, those people have a lot more than 250K, and probably are risking their lives to like come out and out some of these nefarious characters if something like that is happening. You know, like people you don't want to fuck around with is my guess. I don't know. It's crazy, man. I've been enjoying the Joe Ingram streams, and I guess it's just like crazy drama, but to me, it was clear from the beginning there was cheating, and I was shocked that people were like, oh, Bayesian probability, like Bayesian logic, is it more? And then they've totally flipped that to be like, well, actually now it's more likely that she is cheating because everything she explains.
Wait, isn't that
insane.
Bayesian updating your priors as we get more information?
Well, in the beginning, it was like, okay, is it most likely that she just is a fun
Imagine
player?
changing your mind using logic.
Well, what I'm saying is,
what
like,
you're
it
supposed
was
to do
so
is
illogical.
imagine someone has a gun to your head and what's right.
Did she cheat or not?
Yeah, it's wild. I'm like happy for because for poker community too, where they're like they've lost this era of having the characters, the Antonio Esfandiaris and the Unabomber and fucking Doyle Brunson. Like they're in this era where they're like it's all GTO solver bot type stuff. So this is their Super Bowl. Like these scandals, like the Mike, like Joey Ingram went underneath the radar for like a year and a half. And then it's just like, all right, we're gonna rip content. Like I'm happy that those guys have something.
Yeah, like Negradu won the High Roller Bowl, and
no one
it was
cared.
like no one cares, dude. Like
No.
good for you. You know,
Good
like
job.
it's
Yeah.
cheating scandal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have to mention that she handed the money back after.
Yeah,
when they like.
When
she's balancing her range as a cheater.
So
I'll tell you that
there's
much.
two stories to that. Garrett said that they went back and had a discussion, and I mean, I don't know. I doubt that Garrett is worth $200 million where he can just drop $1 million on the table every night and play. I bet he is staked by some cash-rich people who you won't want to fuck around with. And maybe he said something like, yeah, I don't think my backers would take kindly to this hand. And she was like, oh shit, you're backed by them. Here's this, here's this money. You know, like I'm just trying to think through like what would go through someone's head to do that. Or maybe she just thought that it would go like, it just seems far-fetched to me that she would be like, oh, this will just go away if I just give this money back. Like, no big deal. Here's $135,000.
Yeah, that's actually being used as some of the evidence that she did cheat. It's like if she didn't cheat, she wouldn't have given the money back.
Of course. Like, she felt guilty or I don't know.
I think she just wanted it to stop.
I don't think she's stupid, to be clear. But a lot of people, like, I think she's a manipulator. Like, which...
The way that Garrett described her giving the money back was like he was telling her that because like he put some explanations on Twitter, but like he was telling her how bad this looks and how bad it's going to look. And
a lot of eyeballs.
And she started like getting really nervous and then offered to give the money back.
Well, and if you do this, like just a basic logic tree, we know for a fact she wants to be in the limelight. She's voluntarily going on a lot of shows. We know she wants to be famous. We also know that she likes poker. We also know that her rise to playing in this game was meteoric. I mean, she went from playing $100 tournaments to playing in the highest, biggest cash game in the world. And so you wonder if she wants to be famous, she knows playing and she likes poker. Well, playing in that game is a good way to get there. How can she get there if she doesn't have the bankroll? Well, people who have an incentive to stake you or have a scheme that would justify putting you in that game. Like, unless she has an infinite bankroll, and that's why I go back to the thing, is she fake rich? Because if she's fake rich, then it's all off the table. There's no way she's getting in this game.
She's like rented her jewelry on the, like, she doesn't own any of the, like the rings and stuff she was wearing. You know, I don't know. What kind of scandal can we get in fantasy football akin to this? Like,
we already had, fuck it. You had him on your show.
Ethan,
Haskell.
Yeah,
oh, come on.
That's Tanner Tolbert on your show, fucking making 300 lineups with
okay, but that probably happens every day. Like that, like, and that's like just assumed that shit.
The Ethan one in 2015 was this.
I would say it's similar.
It
where
changed everything. It changed their security. They started doing geolocation. People had to find workarounds to play when they lived.
What do we know about DraftKings? Like, how do we know that employees don't know the ownership in a contest moments before, or you know, like how do we know that? And like, I think a lot of good questions have been brought up about streaming security in poker. You know, like I don't know.
I think it's impossible for us to have it because the scandals with DFS happen behind the scenes at a computer not being recorded. Yeah, we can get data. Yeah, we could connect dots like Ethan Gate, like Bachelor Gate, but we're never going to have something on camera where Joe Ingram can go stream for 10 hours of Zapruder filming and rewinding back these actions and having body language experts.
That would do it. I think we're on the show that would do the investigation. Y'all take shifts. I'll take the midnight to 6 a.m. shift.
No, but it is like, I just think DFS is such a different, and it's also why it's so hard. I mean, DraftKings tried to do their Let's Go series. They're trying to turn characters out of these players. It's so fucking hard to make DFS interesting to a normie. It's so hard.
Well, I mean, there's definitely nefarious shit happening in DFS, like 3-man collusion and whatever, you know, like that's unquestionable, but I guess I don't view it the same as rigging a poker game to steal from me, you know?
No,
like,
I'm just talking more about mass market appeal. Like there's movies like Rounders and Maverick and all the old 70 Paul Newman. Like with DFS, there's no way to make that digestible. Like
I'm just talking more about like what kind of cheating could take place.
Could take place.
Yeah.
Well, let's get Mock Lovin on. We can get the Chipotle brothers. I'm sure they might have some ideas for us.
Are you trying to figure out how to cheat? Is that what you're doing?
No, I was a teacher, brother. I'm anti-cheat. All right.
Okay. I'll just,
well, I think
just seem like that for a second.
I think the thing would probably be I've talked with Brian on Lulz, is there's definitely ways to cheat in DFS, but the edge that you're gaining is far less pronounced than like the edges you're getting from cheating in poker, where it's like fucking binary. I know what you have. You could know what everyone else has in DFS. If you told me the exact exposures for the Millie Maker, that would be a huge edge, and it would still take me like 100 years to realize my equity.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like in the FFPC, I think it would be caught though if like we're in a league and we're in a bunch of leagues together, and I'm like, drop Stephon Diggs. Like I think that would be noticeable and caught, right? Like I don't see.
Yeah, it also would be tough it would be so obvious, and then like the following week, all it would do is everyone would bid literally every dollar they had.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you might not even get him.
Yeah, if your buddy needed to get him, they would have to make sure they had the most money at the time that you drop him, and then they bid everything they have to get him. And then what? You have Stephon Diggs, like that doesn't even guarantee you any wins. That doesn't guarantee you $1 million.
It seems
high effort, high risk, minimal
super
chance
obvious.
Reward.
It's like, you guys are buddies. He drops Stephon Diggs. That'd be caught instantly.
I mean, I definitely have worries in the high stakes DK best ball streets that people are colluding, but
that I think is a legit worry in those where they have zero vetting process, they have zero quality control, they have has DraftKings thrown out a single best ball?
I don't think so.
Ever.
And there's definitely shit like that. There's
Of
definitely
course.
shit like that.
Well, I mean, because I could tell you guys, I've been in these streets for 3 years, and maybe people are just so rich that they don't care, which that's like so possible. But every year you have people just enter like a lot of lineups on auto, and also their rankings are weird, where maybe this person is so confident they're right, or maybe whatever. But I've been like, and I don't really see how it benefits any one person you're colluding with, because I'm in that draft. I'm not colluding with you, and I'm trying to beat you. But like, I don't know why someone would do that.
It could help, because you could do things like make a bad team, which helps me, but also fuck over other teams strategically throughout the draft. You realize like, this guy's
auto
building back.
Weird teams.
Yeah.
And
I'm
at
just
that
saying, you
point,
could
you're
definitely.
you're an agent of chaos. You're not actually like benefiting.
Well, if you could guarantee the winner came from your pool, your drafts of 12 every time, then, and like you don't know if it's going to be your partner, but I don't think it's something to worry about, because it's so hard to do in best
There's
ball.
an infinite like you're control when these guys are cheating.
And you don't know who's going to be healthy. You don't like. There's so much. It's so much easier to go online in poker and be like, "Hey, bro, what's your cards?" or something.
Well, what they're doing is more like the analogy. If they know what the cards are, it would be like you literally paid off all of the Bills and all of the Chiefs and the coaches on how to do the play calls during that game. Like that's what the equivalent of it is, of having your hand in determining like the outcome.
Well, and I want to be clear. I'm talking about the $555 best ball drafts, which is like a 2K field, not the $5 DKs for anyone in the comments. Like no one could collude a million.
No, I think people are doing some shit in there. I think you see drafts in there where you're like, what the fuck is going on? You've drafted 3 quarterbacks in 5 rounds or something.
Yeah, I guess it's just like it's so far fetched that anything you do even works. Like, and that's why I love that Underdog does what it does, where it shuts down teams for collusion or concerns or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Underdog does police it.
And we should demand that as consumers. Like it's outrageous we don't get that from DK.
The poker controversy.
We're making a list.
We're now 2 hours in and just like airing more grievances, I guess.
This is what happens when you go down a conspiracy rabbit.
I have ADHD, but you know, like it was bound that I brought up this thing I've been plugged into.
Should we land the plane?
I think so.
All right, Liam, thank you for hopping on.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
A pleasure as always. Good luck in your battle to start Kenny Pickett with Davis.
We already won. Got him on the team.
Thank you for I mean, if you guys want, I can create a Garrett and Robbie sub thread within the Ship Chasing Discord.
Guys, like and subscribe to this channel. What are you doing? Like and subscribe right now.
Plug your own channel, Liam. Come on.
No. My content's spotty. Like and subscribe to Ship Chasers.
My content's spotty. Like your Wi-Fi at a truck stop while you're watching Kenny Pickett play. Gretch, anything else on your radar? You're gonna go delete the Geno Smith bomb in the Stealing Lines Discord?
Yeah, that's step 1 after the show. Not much else, man. Just pissed off about my Mariners. Excited for tomorrow to see if they can win a game.
Let's get the Mariners going for Gretch. Anything for you, Pat?
I do got something. Yeah, I'll be on Fantasy Football Happy Hour this Friday, doing a segment with Matthew Berry on the walkthrough. We're going to go through some of the games that I'm highlighting in my article.
That's awesome.
Very nice. Have you already picked out?
-2.5. That mortgage your house and do it. Not financial advice.
There you go. Oh, Pat, are you going to do the bit I told you about, or you sneak a little ship chasing paraphernalia onto the set?
Yeah, I might do. Maybe I'll do. You know what I'll do? Remember back when we were with like Teespring or whatever the fuck it was?
Yeah.
Or TeePublic, whatever. There's a hoodie that has the fucking ship chasing written on the shoulder on the back.
Yeah.
So I could wear that hoodie, and then I just gotta.
Yeah, but it's like, Pat, why are you doing your entire TV spot like this? It'd be great. It'd be great for the brand. All right. Appreciate you guys. Good luck with all your fucking $800 Taysom Hill shares. We'll see you guys next week.